Hello. Hello. How is everybody doing? Welcome. We're here. Welcome to the broadcast. It is October 29th, 2025. It's just shy of 1 p.m. here in Los Angeles, California, and we are here. Listen, I was going to dress up today. I apologize for this underwhelming outfit. I was going to surprise everybody. I was in line yesterday at Spirit Halloween with a bald cap and a, what's it called, a little vest. You can put those together. You could figure out what I was going to go as. I was going to do it, and then I bailed because the line was way too long and I had to pee. And I was like, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it to do my Lex Luthor. But we're here anyways. I have him in me deep inside. Well, anyway, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the broadcast. Hello, Homer Simpson fan 2. What the hell? There's 2 of you? ZJ13 Goat. Yeah, let me say hello to the members. ZJ13 Soul Maxwell, good to see you. And that's everybody. Sarah Gonzalez, how's it going? Elizabeth, how's it going? Hector, I don't know why it's showing you guys as like usernames, not your normal screen names, which is a little annoying. I'm not gonna lie. But Elizabeth, I saw that I stopped you from watching Ron. Yeah, your names are all weird. What's up with that? That's not my problem. Just some more YouTube bullshit, it looks like. I believe the membership costs $1.99 a month starting out. But yeah, you should go back to watching that movie because that's a really good movie. I would hate to, I can't sit here, as much as I would love to have you here, I can't sit here and say this is going to be a better experience than that movie. So I have to be honest. How's everybody doing today? This is going to be a fun day. I decided we have some plans for today. I mean, we are back in the usual office. We'll talk about the saga I went through in between streams here. But we're going to do a horror movie tier list, because it is Halloween week. Okay. It's Halloween week and I want to get in the mood. And I found a great one on Tier Maker. I haven't seen everything on the list, but I never do. Sarah Gonzalez, thank you for the membership. Appreciate it. Welcome to the, what are we going to call it? The den? I don't know. That sounds weird. Hey, listen, the termites are gone. Supposedly. Ants, we don't even know. So my roommate was telling me that, termites, this is his news. I don't know how accurate this is. He said that when you get your home fumigated, which is what happened, our place was tented. I would share a picture, but it would fully dox me. But when you get it fumigated, apparently if it's for termites, they use like the lowest power. Like the poison that they bring in, it's like pretty low. And so it will kill all termites, no doubt. But it will not take care of like ants and spiders, which we have had ants, as we know, as regular viewers will know. and it's a very buggy apartment for whatever reason, even though I run a tight ship. I keep it clean. But so anyway, there could still be bugs, which is the funniest part of this whole thing, is that after going through the tenting process, there could still be bugs. Also, my thing, there's a little black box at the end. But yes, my house was tented. I just want to get this out of the way, as many people were asking last week. If you haven't had your home tented, here's what happens. Some guys show up and they have to tent your house and put a bunch of like poisonous gas in the building for about a weekend. And obviously you cannot be there. No one can be there. You have to clear out all of your belongings. Well, not all of your belongings. You have to clear out all food and liquids and basically bring your valuables, because I was not aware that burglaries are fairly common during a tenting, because basically your house is a giant it looks like the circus came to town. Literally, it's like a red and black striped tent that they put over, and everyone's like, look at this house. No one's home. And I guess the way it works, I mean, you've seen Breaking Bad. That's a slightly different situation, but it's like people stake out and they see when the tent goes up, and then they time it so that the last day when the toxic fumes are at their lowest, they can go in because the doors are unlocked and basically just take whatever they want because they know nobody's home. And so that freaked me the fuck out. But I was like, I learned of that, and then I was like, okay, but like, you know, it's not that common. It's common, it happens, but it's not that common. So then when we figured out who was subcontracted to do the actual tenting fumigation thing, I looked them up, and there were like half the reviews were people being like, yeah, my home was randomly robbed during the process. Everybody's like, it was an inside job. And I'm reading these and I'm like, wow. So there's a good chance now that my place is going to get robbed. So I had to take everything. I had to take down the whole stream setup. I bought security cameras, which might be extra, but it did make it fun to like watch the gases leak into the house as I was gone. So there was that. Ultimately, everything was fine. Did not get robbed. So everything's good and fine. Although I will say I went through all that trouble. No, I did not take my criterions. You guys got to understand to like, like there's a small population of people who see criterions and are like, oh man, you got true stories. But like, I don't think someone robbing the house is going to be like, oh shit, dude, we got to take Nashville. Like, I don't think those were a concern. I took basically everything that meant anything to me, except I forgot my play button. And I was like, why would they? Then I was like, you know, there's a chance they take the play button, but why would they take that? They can't resell it. It's got my fucking name on it. But, yeah, so I was a little on edge about that, but everything ended up being fine. Although I will say, after all that setup and all that stress, you know, I leave my house. Just the idea of like driving away from your home and you know it's unlocked is crazy. But I was driving away and then got a notification 5 minutes out that my security cameras went offline. And I was like, all right, fantastic. Yeah, that's great. It ended up being fine, and they ended up actually coming back on. I don't know what happened there, but anyway, my address is... I'm kidding. So that was my... You deserve to have your criterion stolen, and that's coming from a member, man? Now, why would you say that to me? Honestly, the ones that I haven't watched, yeah, you're probably right. I deserve to have those stolen. They can take... which one is it? Naked Prey. They can take my Pasolini box set, which I haven't even gotten into. They can take Cat People. I don't give a fuck. Are they still on? They're not still on. Did you get robbed? No, so, I mean, long story short, I didn't get robbed. So it's kind of an underwhelming story, but there was a high chance of me being robbed based on the reviews for this fumigation service and also just what goes down during tenting. But we're good, man. We're good. Did you take the cow picture with you? No. I didn't take any, like, art, which maybe I should have. You know, I just realized I didn't mean to do this, but I have wall art of art. Because that's Art Garfunkel back there. Never put that one together until just now. You should hook the security cameras up to the stream. I mean, it's actually, like, here, I'll show it to you. It's in this room. This is it, man. This is it. It's a blink. I will say, like, if anyone, and this is not sponsored, obviously, but a quick tech review. I mean, it's a pretty handy one. It did go offline unexpectedly during the tenting, and that was kind of concerning, and I don't know what that was about again, but, like, hey, man. Not bad. It wasn't, when I realized we should probably set up security cameras, I was like, well, that's such a pain in the ass, and it ended up being fine. It's called Blink. Is anyone looking to get a security camera? Shoot your next short film on that thing. It truly was. I mean, it is a funny contraption. It is funny because, like, the guys who were, like, doing the tenting, it's like, I was getting alerts that like people were entering my home, but it was just them doing like their thing. And it was like funny watching them from my phone, like go up to the camera and like look it in the eye and then just keep going about. I was like, all right. You have a sound bar for my TV? I used to have one, but it wasn't that good. I think I need to like invest in like a nice sound. I had a friend come over and look at my setup, and he is like, "You of all people don't have a sound bar?" And I was like, the TV does just fine. I've never thought like I needed one, but maybe I do. I mean, dude, there's this movie, The Code, Eugene Kotlyarenko, which uses a lot of cameras like this. I mean, it's been done. It's been done. There's no such thing as a nice soundbar. You need a speaker setup. John, that's so true, because when we lived together, I think that's when I had that old soundbar that didn't do like anything. But then I remember when you got the speakers, I was like, this is something. So you wear headphones when you watch movies? My roommate did that. He set up his Bluetooth headphones to watch a movie. And I was like, you don't got to do that, man. Like I was in the living room watching In the Realm of the Senses, just out in the open on a Thursday afternoon, and he walked in and it was just like incredibly graphic sex happening, and he just nodded along and walked out, and I was like, I'm working, man. It's another day in the office. This is my work. I have to watch this movie for my video. Headphones are pretty nice though for the movies. All that said. Tier list time. We'll get into it in a second. Yeah. So that's on the agenda. We're gonna do a tier list, and then we're also going to talk about The Night of the Hunter, which is this week's movie. Which was, I mean, I said this in the Discord. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but might be my favorite film club movie we've watched so far. Really good movie, and excited to get into it. There's a lot to it. Remember the egg scene from Realm of Senses? How could I forget? It's so funny. People were like, when I brought that up in the video, I was like, there's a scene with an egg, and everyone was like, oh, I bet it's not anything compared to Tampopo. And I'm like, Tampopo looks like the fucking tamest shit in the world compared to what they do with the egg here. Like, that egg scene skeeved me the fuck out, man. I was like, that better be hard boiled, because if that's a shell that is gonna crack in there. How did that video not get demonetized? I have no idea. And where's the wood? Like, I don't know. I was pretty honest in the the copyright check, or not the copyright checks, but the monetization checks. When I uploaded it, I usually am like just breeze through them because I know that my shit is pretty safe. But that one I was like, well, I do talk about sex, and I talk about I think necrophilia counts as a fetish, and so I was like, I mentioned that. I didn't really show anything graphic in any of the footage, and I was pretty safe with like the posters. But like, no, still, I agree. I'm surprised that thing has been like just a kind of a breeze. And the video's done really well, and so I appreciate if you watched it, thank you for watching it. I'm glad it wasn't for nothing. It's done, a lot better. And I literally like how it turned out. I knew it would be. I was like, this will be a really fun one to look back on. Is everything on your Wikipedia article true? I came across that many years ago, but I don't think I've looked at it since. Let me look this up. Wikipedia Karsten Runquist. Oh Jesus, I need a new headshot too. Okay. Yeah, let me pull this up. I think this is safe to pull up. My Wikipedia. Okay. Karsten Runquist. Citations needed. This article is incomplete. Karsten Runquist. That is not my birthday. Let's start right there. That's not my birthday. This is a horrible photo of me. I hate that photo of myself. American YouTuber and film critic who makes videos talking about the film industry. That's true. This is when I started it, but that's not when I started uploading my video. That's not when I started. I mean, maybe I don't know the actual facts on this. This sentence makes no sense. His video essays began getting popular, and that's it. St. Paul, Minnesota. DePaul, yes. Nut allergy, yes. 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 Everything's true. I don't know why they had to single out the blanket thing. I met someone at TIFF this year who said he bought the blanket, and I was like, wow, you're one of 3 who bought that blanket. Yeah, no, this is good. This is all true. This is all true. Anyway, thank you for sticking through that. Quick fact check. What do you think about people who watch movies on their phone? I've addressed this before. I think there's certain movies where it's unacceptable, and if you can avoid it, you know, why do it? But I will say, and this is just me like repeating myself, but I think it is superior in that it eliminates the distraction of going on your phone because you're watching the movie on the distraction. And so you're completely locked in. Unless you do the thing that people do now, which is like minimize the screen. And the idea of like fucking, I don't know, some movie being like minimized in the corner of your screen while you're like texting, like that's crazy to me. But like, I really don't think it's that. Like there's some movies where it's like, yeah, what's the big deal? In my opinion, some movies aren't, I mean, everything's better on a TV. If you can watch it, not even on I don't know why I stopped there. Everything's better in theaters. Like if you can watch it in the best possible place, like you should do that. But I don't know. There's some movies like, and this was the example I gave last time. I watched Hubie Halloween on my phone. It was completely fine. You watched Pulp Fiction on a phone? I may have watched Pulp Fiction on like an iPad in high school. But I was a high school student. I don't know this is really actually, never mind. I'm not going to bring attention to it. I watched Death of a Unicorn and it was mid. That's kind of what I've heard. I haven't gotten around to that one yet. I don't know if I will, to be honest. Lawrence of Arabia on the OG iPhone. That's like the one example where I was like, so that's maybe you shouldn't watch that on the phone. Genuinely bad movie. Death of a Unicorn, I'm assuming, is what you're talking about. I saw Paper Moon on my phone. That's a little crazy. I think Paper Moon's like a beautiful movie. That one you should watch a bit bigger. What's the scariest film you've ever seen? I mean, like, I'm pretty good these days, or at least I thought so. None of the like band movies scared me. Like the movie that really like when I think of movies that actually scared me, like gave me nightmares, it's movies that I saw when I was a kid that I was not supposed to see as a kid. The most notable being The Ring, the American remake. That's the like, I haven't rewatched it. It's maybe not even that scary, but like I walked in on my parents watching it, and it was specifically the girl coming out of the TV, and I had nightmares about it for months. Like it was a big part of my childhood that like it really fucked me up as a kid. And like, and then I watched the Japanese original like a few years ago with all that baggage, and it's still like the like associations and like just seeing that figure was like, it's freaked me out, man. There's something about that one that really scares me. But like anything recently, there hasn't been one recently that's actually really, like, I haven't had nightmares about a horror movie, at least, in a while. I get like skeeved out. I get grossed out. And there's movies that are certainly like downers, like Irreversible, like fucked me up, but it didn't like scare me. Someone's yelling outside. Yeah, I heard The Nightingale is pretty bad, and not bad, but like it fucked people up. Yeah, what's the read on Welcome to Derry? Is that like, are people actually scared of that? Perfect Blue broadcast when? Not a bad idea. I would if I were to do a broadcast on a Satoshi Kon, I would want to cross off the last one I haven't seen, which is Millennium Actress. Millennial. Karsten, Day is my birthday. Happy birthday, Jorma Pesto. Happy birthday. No, I heard Bring Her Back actually fucked some people up too. That's actually that's kind of I have to admit, I know that I have to get around to it. I've been pretty good this week. I watched 28 Years Later finally, and we'll touch on that for sure. I'll also touch on some of the other stuff I watched this week, at least as far as new releases go. But like Bring Her Back, it's on HBO. I've scrolled by it several times when like figuring out what to watch that night, and I keep being like, I don't know if I have it in me yet. Like, I don't, not that I get scared, but I've heard it's like a kind of intense and like kind of really just gruesome. So I have to hype myself up a bit for that one, which is funny because I wasn't like that disturbed by Talk to Me, but I heard this one takes it to another level. I really liked Talk to Me. I thought that was a really great horror movie. It's disturbing but not scary. I heard there's a lot of gore. Is that true? Is Fire Walk with Me a good airplane movie? I wouldn't pick it. No. Because of like, it starts off maybe as a good airplane movie, but there's a long stretch that is like kind of, it's a lot of strobe, which is not like a huge issue, but it just, that scene, you want to be in a better setting than an airplane. Like, it's more for you. And also, like, there are just weird, like, if someone looked over watching some of those later scenes, it would look kind of strange. I wouldn't watch it on the airplane. Maybe an episode of Twin Peaks, you know? Yeah, what John said, you're going to want to watch it alone in a dark room, for sure. For sure. Yes, I was referring to the club scene, which is like, oh, good dude. Fire Walk with Me is so good, man. I love that movie. Do you have a preferred genre for movies? No, man. I'll watch anything. I'll watch anything. As proven by this month's activity. An airplane movie can't have nudity? I mean, dude, I was watching this is a crazy choice on my part. I made a whole video about like what is it and isn't a good airplane movie, but I've done this on 2 flights now. I've been watching like episodes of The Pit on the plane, which is not a good idea. It's really good because those episodes like they completely wrap you in and like they go by fast. They're like time sucks, which is great for an airplane. It makes the flight go by way faster. But the amount of like blood and gore and this last time I got through one episode and I was like, that was great. Let's run it. Let's do another one. And like 10 minutes in, it's like a baby coming out. and that's when I was like, I'm done, man. Like that's, birth is beautiful for sure. But like, you know, I don't want to be that guy on the plane watching a birth. But The Pit's good, man. I just watched the 6 p.m. episode, and if you know, you know. That episode is pretty crazy. Are we done with horror movies for next week's film? Yeah, we can hop back into normal movies. Although I'm probably still gonna put Blade in the running because I still really want to watch that. I also watched Silence of the Lamb. Oh my god, I'm forgetting Silence of the Lambs, right? That was a complete brain fog moment. I watched that on the plane, which is like obviously completely fine up until the moment when Bill is like, I forgot about this scene. He like backs up and it just is like a kind of a crazy sequence of events because it's that and then like skin and you know what I'm talking about. Lambs of the Silence. Yeah, I'm not spoiling it. Did you see the House of Dynamite ending discourse? I did, yes. I did. It's, you know, Blade is Marvel, so it's a 1 out of 10. No, we're gonna come on, man. Yes, I watched House of Dynamite. I was gonna talk about it a little bit. I have a pretty uninteresting take, as in, like, I feel about the same as the rest of, like, the online film community. Like, I thought it started out really great. Even, like, and it, it was great because I went in with kind of low expectations because of what I've been hearing. And I was like, this really doesn't sound like my thing. And, like, when it starts off, you're kind of just like, is this just the September 5 of this year? Like, we're doing the crash zooms in the people in an office yelling and talking movie. Like, is that just what this movie is? And then, like I said in Letterboxd, like, the score sounds identical to Conclave. Like, he didn't do anything different. But anyway, so I started off being kind of like, whatever. And then it, like, hooked me, and I was like, whoa. This is insane, and this is, like, really riveting, and this is kind of like what I love about Catherine Bigelow's filmmaking. And then I didn't know it was going to be a Rashomon-like idea. I know it's, like, slightly different from what Rashomon is, but, like, it's, it's told through 3 different perspectives, but it's like, it doesn't really work because you already kind of see that perspective in the first act over a Zoom call. And so it was kind of like, I was kind of like, what am I getting from this other than, like, some good Tracy Letts screen time? And then by the time we get to the final one, which is, like, the president, I was just like, now this is doing, like, nothing. And I feel like people keep dancing around there's, like, some, like, kind of Adam McKay-isms to this film, in that, like, it's kind of feels like it's built to bring you some sort of, like, catharsis for, like, how incompetent and frustrating our leadership is, and you're supposed to see it in, like, a really extreme setting and, like, feel something. Like, there's, like, a weird, it's like, it moves as though it wants to be that kind of, like, satisfying film of our times, but then it delivers in one of the most unsatisfying endings I think I've ever seen. And so I don't really know what it was doing. I'm like, so what was this? What was the point of this? It's so all over the place. But, like, it sucks because, like, the highs are so high. I just think it was, like, the complete wrong direction to take this. I wish I wish that the other perspectives strayed further away from, like, the central drama. I guess I wish we went somewhere we didn't even know about. Context, please. I just joined. I was talking about House of Dynamite. Great editing. I will say. Karsten, were you in your school band? I was in the choir. Yes. And I had a handful of solos in the 6th grade. And then I hit puberty pretty hard 7th grade and lost all those opportunities. It got so bad that I had to just drop out and find a new after school thing because I was not getting the voice changed completely. But I had the pipes for a little bit. I regretted not joining band properly. And that's when I became a swimmer kid. And that I excelled at. Anyway, thoughts on Blue Moon? Is Ethan Hawke still the GOAT? It's an immediate contender for best Ethan Hawke performance, actually. Like, I would go that far. That when I was watching it, I was like, so this is immediately, like, a career-defining performance for him. Like, it's not often where you can, like, see in the performance that this is, like, important to him, but, like, there's just something about just kind of, like, seeing the kind of work that, or seeing, like, interviews and, like, where Ethan Hawke's interests align over the years. It's like you see him in this and you're like, this is kind of everything he's wanted as an actor, and he brings all of it. Like, it's a very committed performance, and you can tell he brought a lot of life to it. Yes, First Reform is good, man. That's, like, probably my personal favorite, but that's, like, a completely, that is like, it's a Paul Schrader character, whereas this is like, and he's serving the film in that way, but this feels like Ethan Hawke's movie in some ways. Like, it's it was fantastic, man. I mean, I got very emotional watching it too, because it starts off kind of it starts off kind of silly, and I don't want to say cheesy, but like it starts off very kind of big, and he's doing a lot with it, and then it kind of gets slowly brings itself in a bit more, and you start to like see, where his heart's at and how sad he is, and then it just kind of breaks you. Yeah. So that's the thing. I was not familiar with Roger and Hart beforehand. I'm not a theater kid. I don't know the history like that. I don't really know much. So but I think that says something about the movie that still really worked for me. It's one of the best Richard Linklaters there's been in a while. And I've liked Hitman. I liked Nouvelle Vague more than a lot of people. And I don't even think Where'd You Go, Bernadette was a total stinker, but this is him returning to like what he excels at, in my opinion, and just like the really good dialogue, just the amazing. I thought the blocking was great. I thought the direction was really fantastic. Like it keeps you moving for what it like. It keeps. It's not boring. So yeah. Anyway, really liked it. What are your thoughts on being a film critic and filmmaker? I know Chris Stuckman felt like he kind of had to stop once he made the switch. I mean, that's fair. It's like it's different for everybody. I can't really speak on it because I'm not at a point where I'm like, I've said this before. I have had interactions I'm like friends with filmmakers whose work I've critiqued in the past, which was before I was friends with them. And so it's like kind of like a little running joke, but that's like, it certainly can be awkward. Yes. As I've met more people but like, I don't know. There's it's different for everyone. For now, I'm not going to stop doing what I do because, that's just, I don't see it affecting my life that much. And I'm like, well, this is my job. This is what I'm here to do. That's the whole point, right? Is to critique stuff. But I also like completely understand where he's coming from. It's different, but it's a scary leap. So yeah, I don't know. It depends on your situation. For me, I'm comfortable doing both of them at the same time. Will Eddington crack your top 20 in 2025? It's so funny you bring this up. I was just thinking about it last night when I was putting in Blue Moon and like rearranging my list a bit and checking in with myself. And Eddington was like really, it's not low. It's a great movie, but it was at like 30. And I was like, I might have to move that up a bit because that was kind of a defining movie of this year, and certainly one that I'm still thinking about and made a pretty big impact on me. So it's up. It's not. I don't know if it's top 10, but it's in maybe top 20. I can't really say. I did like Friendship, yeah, and I've liked it more the more I've thought about it. What do you mean by bruh? Colton, thank you for the super chat. Hey Karsten, I don't know. Fan. I want to start my own review channel. I was wondering, what is your process to make a review, write a script, spitball both, etc. My process is so, I'm pretty laid back if you can't tell. But like if I'm going to make a review for a video, for a standalone video, the typical layout is I go to see the movie and then I maybe talk about it with some friends to like kind of hash out some thoughts. I don't take notes during the movie, although I see why people do that. I kind of tend to just watch it very purely, and I'm not really thinking about the review during the movie. I'm just really kind of, if I'm thinking about anything, I'm just like really tapping into like how the movie's making me feel. And after the fact, I will kind of reflect on it and go deeper with it and think about like what specific choices may have meant. I focus, I think, a lot more than a lot of my fellow film, like YouTube critics at least. Like I like to think a lot about the director and like the intentions and like the context of their career. And so that's something I think about. But I usually write the review either the night of or the next morning. And then I recently send it to someone to fact check it, which is, I only have done that once, and it was for Begonia, and I'm going to start doing it more. And then I get right to it. And the whole thing takes me, I mean, it depends. It doesn't take me that long to make these reviews. I mean, I've gotten the editing down, so it takes me about it takes me a day to edit it, but probably 3 days total, depending. If I have to, I can do it in a couple hours if the deadline is crunched. But anyway, it's kind of an unexciting answer, but that's what it's like. Do you have a favorite script of the year? Listen, it's probably not the best script of the year, but I thought the Jay Kelly script was fantastic. I thought Jay Kelly was that's just reminding me how much I love Noah Baumbach's writing. I don't think that's the true answer. I think the actual answer might be One Battle because of just how many quotables there are. And beyond that, it's just an amazing screenplay. Will you ever watch Better Call Saul? Yes, man. Yes, I will. What should I watch for my 1,000th film on Letterboxd? You should do Baraka. Baraka. Trust me. It's a crazy one to kick off the thousands with. Favorite Lars von Trier film? It's probably Melancholia. Okay, we're gonna do the tier list. I think it's about that time. Let me make this transition. No. Yes. Okay. So I found this tier list on tiermaker.com, top 100 horror movies tier list. From Enovati. They go. S tier. S as in spooky. A as in I thought this was funnier when I was setting it up. B as in boo. C as in creepy. D as in damn. I couldn't think of something better than that. And then haven't seen. But yeah, this is it. It's pretty self-explanatory. We're not going too deep with it. It's S, A, B, C, D, haven't seen. And it's 100 movies. I don't know where this list came from, but I've seen a good amount of these, and I think this is good. D for dud, D for doo-doo, D as in demented, D as in doom. Doom's the closest. It needs to be horror themed is the thing. I almost did D as in doe for Homer. Dougal. We'll see. Maybe someone in the D for didn't scare me is actually kind of funny. That's actually not bad. D disturbing. D for Dracula. It would be funny if that tier and we just did Dracula. But dead is perfect because D is dead is the one that works the best for it as a tier list. Off the bat, I haven't seen this. I don't know what this is. Is it Cabinet of Dr. Calamari? Sorry. I haven't seen it. Wreck, I haven't seen. Saw, I haven't seen. Okay, we're running. Freaks, I haven't seen. Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs, I just watched it and decided it was a masterpiece. We're already in spooky. I mean, that Silence of the Lambs, I think we can agree as a community is an undeniable S tier, right? I mean, that's there's no doubting that. I know it's maybe not the most. I mean, it's funny because it's not it doesn't feel so horror-y, but I walked into Spirit Halloween yesterday. They got Hannibal Lecter up on the wall. I'm like, it defies the horror norms, you know? It's just scary. I do have to watch Wreck. I have to see everything that's not that I haven't seen on here. So let's make that clear. Nosferatu, and I'm assuming this is the new one based on the font. I mean, how do I know? How do I know which one this is? Can anyone get a fact check on if this is I wish I could zoom in more too. It's pretty zoomed out. You think it's the old one? I mean, that would make more sense. Yeah, it probably is the old one. Old. Okay, I like the old one a lot. It's actually like, I mean, this is pretty. It's really good. I actually was shocked at how much I dug it. I don't think it's full S tier. I have to say, it's not like a special one for me, but I do like it quite a bit. It's beautifully shot. I mean, I love the creature design. It's some of the best makeup of its era. I think it's better than the Eggers one. Yeah. I mean, there might be a hot take, but I prefer it to the Eggers one. Night of the Hunter, man. Just watched it. That's today's movie. Let's get the chat's read on this, because I know how I feel, but I want to just get a quick vibe check on how we felt about Night of the Hunter. Not really a hot take. No, you're right. Would you consider Night of the Hunter a horror movie? That's the thing, is like, I don't know if I would. It is more like, because I watched it with my girlfriend last night, and I was like, so that was supposed to be a horror movie, and we both agreed. We were like, I don't know if that was really horror, but it was fantastic, and it was maybe more thriller than horror. I thought it was, I mean, I'll cut to the chase. I thought it was a masterpiece. So I kind of want to put it in spooky. I might drop it down if we go on. The Innocents I have not seen yet. Jaws. So is Silence of the Lambs, exactly. That's funny. The two spooky movies are probably not straight up horror movies. Jaws is peak, yeah. Is Jaws horror? It made a whole nation afraid of sharks in a new way. It changed the world, arguably. It's one of the most iconic horror movies, I would argue. Sharks are naturally scary, though. Yeah, but like this, I mean, listen, I don't think there's anyone here who was like around pre-Jaws. Am I wrong? Do we have any true unks in chat? But like, I want to say, based on everything I've read about this movie and know about it, is that it put it in, it became a whole thing in society, that sharks got a whole lot scarier after Jaws. It put the nightmare on screen. You're the only unk here? Shit. Yeah, I'm going to put it in S. Coraline. Listen, man, Coraline's really good. It's probably not S. It's probably not S all the way, but it's a comfortable A. It's a comfortable A. It's a new horror classic. But I do think I don't love the structure of it in the back half. A, because it's your biggest video. No, it's the most, it's the movie. If we're counting movies, it is funny that for a movie channel, my most popular video is for a cartoon show. But then the next on the list is Coraline, which is, so I guess it is, I mean, I owe it a lot. I owe my sister all of that. That was my sister. She was like, you should do something about the bugs. And then I was like, I'll see. And then it got 6 million views. And now she won't stop pitching ideas that I don't think are that good. But maybe I need to hear her out because she knows something that I don't. Did you see the trailer for their next film? I forget the filmmakers' names, but no, the stop motion. It's not Leica. You have a sister? Yes. I know they had that one a few years ago that I never ended up seeing, but I still need to see it. I heard it was fine. Do you come from a family of cinephiles? No, actually. They might. I don't think they would. I think they would agree too. I mean, they maybe were more into it. My mom was really into going to the movies all the time in the 90s and early 2000s, but she nowadays is like, so she relies on me. And I'll tell her like what's worth. Like, I got them to go see One Battle, and they said that was like the best time of their lives. They were like, that was the best movie experience we've had in a long time. And I was like, let's go. That made me so happy. But no, I didn't grow up in a cinephile space, I would say. Wendell and Wild. Yeah. Ginger Snaps is B. That's pretty fair. I think we would agree. I haven't seen this one yet. I liked Ginger Snaps, but American Werewolf in London. I watched this one last year for Monkey Mondays, and it's not like my favorite kind of movie. We have two werewolves back to back here, and I think I prefer Ginger Snaps to An American Werewolf in London. I know that, like, you know, it's got its diehard fans. I can't go any higher than B personally. It's not my cup of tea. But like, I might need to give it another chance. It was a Monkey Mondays week where I really didn't feel like watching a movie. And so it kind of got dealt a bad hand by me. And I will own up to that, man. I'll own up to that. But like, I recognized it as like, you know, some of the most impressive and innovative makeup of all time. Like, it was very huge for what it was. Director's got some issues, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure he's kind of a weirdo. But I don't need to unpack that. And that has, you know, that's the movie aside. But it's a B. It's a B. I think we can. That's fine. Right? Yes, he's a yes. Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street's pretty good, and having seen, like, I was out of touch. I was out of touch with it. Like, I was not aware of like how deep it went, I guess, because I went to see Nightmare on Elm Street 3 for a friend's birthday and was like really kind of into it. Thought it was great, and it made me appreciate Nightmare on Elm Street 1 a lot more. Like, a year ago, I probably would have put it in B, but like these days, I'm kind of like, that's a great movie. I think I need to give it a rewatch and might consider it S. There was a video that Jordan Peele did where he made it, he called it the best horror movie ever made. He put it over like The Shining and Jaws, but yeah, I mean, it's got, and I'm not putting it there because of that, but I'm just like, you know, I've reassessed it a bit and have been like, you know, that movie was pretty interesting, and it's a great concept. What is this? A Quiet Place? That's a solid C. No offense. I was never really on the A Quiet Place train. It's good. It's a great concept. I love the concept. The first one's probably the best one. I haven't seen the second one. I was not crazy about the new one. Yeah, no offense to any quiet heads. That's, yeah. What is this? It's like Italian. I haven't seen it. The Original Cat People. I also haven't seen. I've only seen the Paul Schrader one. Should I rate it as though it's the Paul Schrader one and just to not put another thing and haven't seen? That's not how that works. Scroll. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we good now? I thought we were ranking based off scariness. I mean, I was annoying and I made that the tier stuff, but I'm going by like quality. We're figuring out what the greatest horror movies of all time are. I haven't seen this, so I can't. Candyman is a massive blind spot, and I'm sorry. Maybe that's this week. I know we're not going to do horror movies this week, but Evil Dead 2, you guys know how I feel about this. Evil Dead 2 is easy S. I don't even think I need to explain myself that much with that. It's I mean, we want to talk about forward-thinking makeup and just filmmaking and tricks. I mean, that's like beyond. I mean, I fell in love with it initially because I thought it was just so damn funny and had so much energy and felt like being like slapped in the face by a movie. And it just it's I don't know, it freaked me out. I mean, it was like one of the most energizing films I've ever seen, and it still is so goddamn fun to watch. So, I mean, I love it. I need to watch that one so bad. Wait, Evil Dead 2? Wait, John, did we not watch Evil Dead 2 together? We had to have. It was when we were living together. Original Frankenstein. No one seems to be talking about it in chat, but it's okay, Sebastian, chill out. No, I listened to you and Jaxie watch it while I was quarantined in my room. Oh my god, that's crazy. I remember this now. Yeah. Oh my god, John, you would love it, man. It's so good. The OG Frankenstein is really good. I always like I forget what I gave it. It was either a 4 or a 4.5, but today I consider it a 4.5. I'm gonna put it in A because I'm like not all the way there with it, but it's like undeniably it's the blueprint. Like, it set the stage. And I don't know, just thinking about it in the context of the other Universal creature films to come out at the time, like, it's the only one that I feel like is a step above, even though it might be on the same level as Creature from the Black Lagoon for me, just out of personal taste. This is like the one that feels the most like the text is actually pretty rich, you know? Like, there's a lot more to it. There's also Bride of Frankenstein, which I haven't seen yet. Karsten, thank you for becoming a member, by the way. Welcome to the madness. The OG Godzilla, also A tier. I liked it a lot, and it's an important movie. It's a very important movie. It's not as good as like some of the new Godzillas, in my opinion. Like I might like -1 a bit more than the OG, but like the OG is we could say all the same things as we just did Frankenstein. Not a horror movie? It's totally a horror movie. What are you talking about? It's horrifying. It's a giant lizard comes to the land. I think on a rewatch it would probably be an S, but like truthfully, I'm feeling A for it. Yes, I like Godzilla vs. Kong a lot more. I'm kidding. It is a political thriller, yes, but I also think it's a horror movie. I can't. It's definitely not a horror movie. Hereditary. Okay, we got to move through these a bit fast. By the way, we're going pretty slow. Hereditary is not full S. It's probably A. It gets a lot of credit for popularizing what we know today as elevated horror. Keyword popularizing. I will say, having just recently seen Let the Right One In, and us talking about it last week, I think Let the Right One In deserves a lot of the credit that Hereditary gets. I think Hereditary is very influenced by Let the Right One In a number of ways, and so never use that term, but we're not saying like I agree with the term and what it means, but it's like it's the term we've been given, and so we're gonna use it for the time being. But obviously it's one of the most defining films of its time. But this is this is kind of, it's also I mean, for that reason it's kind of undeniable. It's a great film. I'm not gonna go full S with it though, for the reasons I kind of just talked about. She elevated my horror. Interesting. The Descent, it's somewhere between B and C. It's a fun movie. It's really fun, though. It's like, it kind of has like some weak spots. It's not like, there's some people who will die for The Descent, but I'm like kind of whatever about it. I think it's like a fun time. It's not one that I'm really, and it's really silly when the lights go out, and I love the creatures in it. It's pretty scary. It's kind of just, I mean, it's a good and fine horror movie. Yeah. I haven't seen this one yet. I've seen Misery. Misery's like a B. I wish I loved Misery like that. Like, probably in my heart, I would say it's like an S in my heart. But I actually rewatched it semi recently and was like, it's all right. It's all right. It's really, it's an all-timer Kathy Bates. We know this. All-timer Kathy Bates. All-timer James Caan. I love it. I mean, the concept is really fun, and I'll rewatch it many more times in my life. And it's funny to watch it as a YouTuber, because I'm like, this is gonna happen to me one day. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in B for now. The Haunting I haven't seen. 28 Days Later, solid B. Don't come for me, man. Don't come for me with this. I thought it was. I watched it this year for the first time. Thought it was good. I thought the ending kind of fell apart. Hot take. I think the ending of that movie kind of falls apart. But I think it's. I mean, the cinematography and the way they chose to shoot it is really interesting and looks really. I mean, I'm not gonna say pretty, because it doesn't look pretty, but it works really well. It's not like really my cup of tea. I'm not typically a huge zombie head. And so there's parts of this that really work, and there's parts of it that I feel are just kind of like, what I will say is like it gets a little tiresome to watch after a while. It looks ugly, but like really it works for the material. It's a tough one it's hard to argue for the look of that movie. Like Blue Moon, I thought looked ugly. That's the worst part of the movie, but that's not really what it's trying to do. But 28 Days Later looks ugly, and that's what it's after. And so it kind of... Cillian Murphy is really great in it. Deep down, man, don't kill me. I think I like the new one a little bit better, yeah. I think 28 Years is pretty great. His House, I haven't seen. Wolfman, I was going to see it this year, did not see it. Fright Night, haven't seen. Get Out. Oh God, the people are so annoying about Get Out in a way where it's like, every time I praise it for being great, because it is, people get fucking mad at me. And it seems like the chat... Okay, you guys are kind of mixed, actually. I thought we were more positive. But when I praise it on, like, my main channel, the comments are just crazy. I'm like, what do you mean, man? It's a fantastic horror movie. Like, yes, the comic relief doesn't really work. That's the only thing I don't really vibe with in the movie. And I think he's gotten way better at blending humor and horror in, like, Nope. But Get Out is, like, one of, like, the most clever screenplays of the last few years. Like, I haven't rewatched it since its moment, so, like, who's to say? But I think it's a classic, right? It's A or S. I might put it in A for now and reserve S for, like, the true heaters. It's amazing that it won Best Screenplay. That is like, I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough. Maybe it does in certain circles, but to me, I'm like, that doesn't, the fact that a horror movie won Best Screenplay is pretty outstanding. I might move it up to an S in a second. In the Mouth of Madness, I forget. It's a damn good movie. My girlfriend just saw it last night, and so I was refreshing my memory on it, coincidentally. I was just talking about it. I haven't personally seen it in a while. But in refreshing my memory, it's one of John Carpenter's like most psychological. Apparently he was very influenced by Lynch. It's not my personal favorite, no, from Carpenter, but it's one that's really kind of stuck with me over the years. And yeah, I find myself thinking about it more than I thought I would. I wouldn't maybe put it above B because, like, it's really good and it's really interesting, but it's not really what I've come to expect from Carpenter. It's not my favorite type of Carpenter, but it's one of those movies where on a rewatch, I might end up being head over heels for it. But who's to say? Who's to say? Sometimes that's not the case, as we've seen with Misery. I haven't seen Baby Jane. Is that what that is? Yeah. Creepshow, I haven't seen. Lost Boys, I haven't seen. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Is the chat familiar? I know. I was trying to watch Baby Jane this year, and we never got around to it. I still have time, for the record. I'm talking like Halloween's over, but Killer Clowns from Outer Peak. That's it. Oh, that's really good, actually. Dude, is John, are you still here? Did we watch Killer Clowns, John? I'm trying to remember. Dude, it's a good time. No? Okay, no, wait, you haven't seen it. Okay, damn. I remember watching this in the middle of the pandemic and being kind of in a clouded state. Like, I wasn't fully there. You don't watch shit with me? I watch shit with you all the time. I did miss your Over the Garden Wall party this year, so I'm sorry about that. I heard it was really good. This might be the first year in many years where I've missed... I didn't watch Over the Garden Wall. A clouded state. Yeah, I was in a clown. Yes, yes. There's so much missing here. I agree. It's not a perfect list. Let's keep it moving. I'm sorry. Yes. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm going to put in D. It's not that good, truthfully. I don't remember a single thing about it. Hellraiser. Hellraiser is also a little overrated, if I might. I love the costumes. I love the makeup. But bro, what? You know what? You're right. It's C. Chat kind of pushed me out of that one. Hellraiser, though, is not going any higher than C. I'm not a huge Hellraiser fan. I remember being like severely underwhelmed by it, and I'm very sorry that there are probably some like Hellraiser fans here. I don't remember what I rated it. Let me double check. But I remember being like really kind of bored by it. You told me to speed it up, and then I threw it in there because I wanted to move on, and then I'm reassessing. So I'm doing my best. Yeah, I gave it a 3. I wasn't crazy about it. I'm down to give it another watch, but like I remember being pretty disappointed considering I love the makeup and the look of this guy. Audition's a special one. Audition is A, teetering on S. It's arguably his greatest. Thank you, the creature. I mean, you might think about it more highly than I do, but like I do think the design and production design and all that's like what you're in it for, and there's not much else there from what I remember. Audition is like a fucked up movie. Audition is like peak psychological horror in my opinion. It's been years since I've seen it, and it's a lot more careful. It's a lot I don't want to say like lighter on its feet, but that's kind of what comes to mind than a lot of Miike films, from what I've seen at least. But yeah, it's one that really stuck with me and gave me a lot more than I was expecting. The Babadook. Babadook I haven't seen in a while. Which is like I remember loving it. I remember it being one of my favorite horror movies from that era of my life, but I truthfully haven't seen it in so long. It's not when I think of like my favorite horror movies, it's not at the top of it's not in the front of the mind, you know? Like I'm not jumping to say the Babadook. But it's really well made, and I still need to see her next film cuz yeah. No, we keep talking about this. We keep talking about what started that trend, and it's the Babadook played a role in it for sure. But I still am. There's a few players in the game, you know. Like yes, the Babadook was probably like it was a big moment for it. Yes, but I think Hereditary is what took it over the edge. Truthfully, actually, Midsommar kind of took it over the edge. And then Get Out also kind of played a big role. So there's several players. Babadook is, I mean, if we're going to talk about it in that way, it's probably one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most least interesting. It is one of the least interesting examples of a movie that pushed that subgenre forward, in my opinion. But I also haven't seen it in a long time. So, Ring, the Japanese version. I remember being like, again, we just talked about it. I remember being scared, but not particularly blown away by it, to be honest. Like, I liked this filmmaker. I forget what his name is, but I like Dark Waters more. I remember that being much stronger and much gentler than Ringu, which I thought was good, but not that good. I haven't seen The Grudge. Is that what that is? Texas Chainsaw Massacre S tier. We don't need to talk about that too much. The Vanishing is in haven't seen. I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen Deep Red. The Wicker Man is kinda whatever. I'm sorry to that community. I know it's like I know that like there's some like I honestly it might boil down to me like not getting it, but I thought The Wicker Man was kind of it was a bit like underwhelming. I get that it kind of paved the way for Midsommar, obviously. But yeah, that's the thing. I don't remember like anything but the ending. It's probably C. I'm tempted to go D, but that feels harsh because there are like some things about it that I like. Mark Kermode accidentally spoiled the film Ring while on live TV. I believe it. Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue. People have been wanting this. People have been waiting for Perfect Blue. It is a horror movie. I saw some people in chat saying it wasn't a horror movie. It's an S tier for me, personally. I fucking love Perfect Blue, and gets better every time I rewatch it. And I've said it many times. If you didn't like it the first time, you should watch it again. It's honestly like still so. It just becomes more and more relevant with time. I'm not going to get too into this, but like it's obviously it's a movie. The gender of the characters, it plays a big role in it. But I will say, there's just like parts of that movie that are real. Like they're very like scary in a really disturbing way that is just continues to come up in the world. And I'm not going to get too into it, but yeah, it's a really dark and disturbing movie. And so I can't put it any lower than S for sure. I have not seen this. Black Christmas. Black Christmas. I mean, that's one of my favorite slashers. I'm not going to spoil it too much. Black Christmas is kind of S. I've you guys know how much I love it. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times now. And it's like, so it's for the same reasons as like Texas Chainsaw. It brings out everything I want in a horror movie, and in this case specifically a slasher. Like it really is the best example of that kind of movie, and is really creepy and vulgar. I mean, it's sickening, that movie. And I love this. It's very funny that the director went on to make like what was it, a Christmas Carol, Christmas Story or something. But like, to be honest, the Christmas stuff in the movie is shot beautifully. Like the Christmas lights, the lighting in it is genuinely kind of nice to look at. And so I don't know, it's a really interesting horror movie that, yes, the split diopters are amazing. The voice on the phone is really fucked up. It just feels so real. It feels very real and kind of unassuming, which I love. I've talked about Black Christmas quite a bit, so I'll leave it there. Halloween is also kind of S tier. I mean, we can't really argue against that. Every time I watch Halloween, I'm like, I remember the first time I watched it. Maybe real Karstheads will remember this. It was a bit underwhelming, and I didn't really get the hype. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, that's everything. It really clicked for me the second time. And so, I don't know. I think it deserves its status as like one of the most iconic. And I'll probably rewatch it this year on actual Halloween. A lot of people go for Trick or Treat on the actual day of Halloween, but I kind of am a true Halloween enjoyer. I'm cooking ribs while watching this. That sounds good as fuck. Damn. Dude, oh my God. This is kind of related. I had to tell this story real quick. I was at the grocery store a few days ago, and I am not, one of the most embarrassing parts of my life is like the shit that I buy at the grocery store. I'm not an active cook. I don't like, I buy some bullshit. And I was, she was like trying to make small talk, the cashier, and she was ringing up my microwave Amy's mac and cheese, which is embarrassing as is. But she was like, oh, I love this brand. I haven't tried the mac and cheese. And I'm like, oh, it's great. Like, I've had it since I was a kid. Like, it's really good. And she's like, you can't go wrong with mac and cheese. And I'm like, no, it gets the job done. And then like a few items later, I also in this same batch was buying Annie's mac and cheese. So I look like a fucking lunatic buying all this fucking like separate types of mac and cheese. And she's like ringing that one up in silence. And then she's just like, no, yeah, can't go wrong with mac and cheese. And I was like, just put it in the bag. Let's get this one over with. It was a true like look in the mirror moment. I was like, why am I buy some real food, man? Anyway, ribs sounds good. But she was nice. She was a nice lady. Vampire. Vampire's all right. It's not my favorite. It's beautiful. It's got some of the most beautiful cinematography from that era and is like pretty foundational. I watched it because it's a film that gets covered in, or at least the director, Carl Dreyer, I want to say. Paul Schrader talks about him in his Transcendental Cinema book. And to be honest, I wasn't super into it. I mean, I thought it was beautiful. I thought the cinematography was amazing. It was good, but it's not really it's not my thing. It's not my thing, if I'm going to be honest. I've gotten more out of other films. Maybe I'm just not there yet. Alien. Just put the cheese in the bag, exactly. Just put the macaroni in the cheese. Is this going to be a whole video on its own? Yes, I'm going to cut this down. Alien's S tier for sure. I mean, come on. Alien is arguably... So we're saying D? What is wrong with you people? It's got to be the best Ridley Scott. Am I wrong? Can we all get on that page? Can we agree on that? It's probably Ridley Scott's best movie. That's what I'm saying. It's not even like a discussion. D for damn good. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to hear. Oh, I'm going to piss off most of you. I think Blair Witch is kind of overrated. I think Blair Witch is, well, I have to, I can't put it in full D because I have to respect how important it is as a movie. You know, it's important. It's an essential found footage film. It's thin ice, buddy. It's very important to not only horror, but the history of movies, right? But I don't find it scary. I find it really boring, and there's like very few like things that I get out of it other than I think it's an interesting way of shooting the film, and is like, you know, I can, there's something to be said about how historically significant it is, but like as a movie on its own, I really like, I think the found footage genre has been pushed into more interesting directions since it, like maybe when it first came out, like could have blown my mind to pieces, but like, to be honest, I can't put it in D because of those reasons. Anything that has like the impact like that shouldn't be in D. There's not like there's not a lot of true D's here. Eraserhead's an A, and I need you all to like calm down about that. There are S tier David Lynch. Oh, okay, maybe it is S. It's A. It's not my favorite David Lynch movie, but I like it a lot. Can we be happy with A? Kubrick said he wish he made it. Wish he made which one? What are you talking about? It Follows. It's been years. It's been years for me with that one. Also an important movie. Not one I think about too often. That is a comfortable B for me. I mean, I remember really liking it. Yeah, high B is a good way of putting it. Like, that's a high B. Because the concept's great and it's really well executed. It's a beautiful looking movie. And it's not like as gimmicky as it should be. But for some reason it just doesn't like pop the way everything above it does, you know? We're not gonna, okay, anyway. Trick or Treat. How does chat feel about Trick or Treat? I haven't really gotten a good idea of how this community feels about Trick or Treat. We've all seen it, right? Like, we've seen Trick or Treat. It's a really D for Trick or Treat. Come on. It's not bad. It's good. It's fun. So tough. Brian Cox is in it. People forget Brian Cox is in it. I kind of have it's realistically C, but I kind of have a soft spot for it. I have too much fun watching it. I've seen it twice, and shockingly, both times I was like, this gets me in the mood. It's like it's kind of a, yeah, I mean, who is watching Trick or Treat anytime other than October? Like, it's more than any of these is very like isolated to this time. But it's, you know, it's fun. Carrie, this one pains me a lot. I haven't seen it, and we started it. Can I like let you guys know? Like, last week we started Carrie. We got 20 minutes in. I was enjoying the hell out of it, and then my neighbors texted me about the fumigation service and all the different burglaries, and I was like, "Can we pause?" And then I went down the rabbit hole of all the incidents, And then I was like, can we just turn the movie off? I need to crash out for a second over my house getting burgled. So I haven't finished Carrie, but I was enjoying it, and that's my backstory with it. Nightmare Before Christmas. It's people think it's better than it actually is. And you guys know me. This is like, if you guys are on my same page, like, it's stop motion and it's got good tunes and fun characters, but it's not like every time you watch it, you're kind of like, all right, man, it's good. Like, it's good. It's a high B. It's definitely no lower than B, but it's not an all-timer for me. There's like something that holds it back I've seen it so many times throughout my life. Even as a kid, I was like, why am I not fucking with this? Why is this not hitting it way out of the park? Because it should. Cabin in the Woods. It's been so many years since I've seen Cabin in the Woods, and I remember having a pretty good time with it. I also always think that Chris Evans is in it, but it's Chris Hemsworth, right? Who's this director again? He's good. Because Battle at the El Royale? Bad Time. Wait, I just said Battle at the El Royale. Bad Times at the El Royale. Battle at the El Royale would make more sense, would it not? Holy shit. Battle at the El Royale is kind of funny. No, Cabin in the Woods is good. It's been many years, so I can't really like accurately one El Royale after another. I whatever I give this is not like a true assessment. Like, I don't know, man. I'll put it in B. That's a safe place to put it. Friday the 13th I haven't seen. Oh, okay. Suspiria. A movie I respect, deeply respect, and love on the outside. And a movie that two times? I've seen it twice. Both times I couldn't like get myself to enjoy. Like it's like, personally, it's probably no higher than a B, man. I'm so sorry, but I that one hurts because it's like a beautiful movie. It looks beautiful and is obviously like so like paved the way. It's like, what could we call it? You know, one of the most iconic unsubscribing. It's like incredibly iconic, but I just can't, I haven't been able to like fully love that or the remake. Like, neither of them really like did it for me, but that's like, maybe I was too young. I might be due. That was 2018. I might be due for a rewatch. It's been like 7 years, man. Addams Family, haven't seen it. Shaun of the Dead, probably Edgar Wright's best. Can we stop and maybe think about that as a community? Is it Edgar Wright's best? We've not talked about Night of the Hunter yet. No. We're going Hot Fuzz on that one. Baby Driver. That's another one I haven't seen since film school. Maybe I gotta reassess my Edgar Wright rankings. I think this and Hot Fuzz clear Scott Pilgrim, in my opinion. That I know to be true. Gallison, thank you for the membership. Welcome to the chaos. I really like Shaun of the Dead. I have to admit, I'm a big Shaun of the Dead enjoyer. I might put it in A. Like, that in my heart feels wrong. Like, but it's a good movie, man. It's a funny ass movie. Shaun of the Dead's funny. It's really good. There's some really good bits in that thing. It's Edgar Wright in his prime too. What is this? Poltergeist? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen this. The Fly is S. Had to say it. Have to say it. It's an S. That's one of the best. That's probably my favorite David Cronenberg. It's peak, bro. It's peak. It's the best like body horror. I mean, all of the body horror movies that I love would not exist without this movie. It's yeah. That's kind of what it's all about. The Fly. It's kind of what it's all about. Rocky Horror Picture Show I've not seen. Videodrome, back-to-back Cronenbergs here. Videodrome, really good, really good. It's a 5-star, as I just realized when I did that members only video. It's not as good as The Fly, but it's really good. I don't know if I can put it full S, but it is A. It's a high A. I need to rewatch that one. It was like my introduction to Cronenberg, so it kind of blew my mind. But now that I've like seen more Cronenberg, it kind of got lost in the pile in my memory, and so I need to. No, see, but that's the beautiful thing about The Fly is yes, it is goofy, but it's also really sad and heartfelt and scary, and there's a monkey in it, and it's the best Jeff Goldblum performance, and the score is beautiful, and the makeup is still some of the best of all time. And it's heartbreaking. Did I say that already? It's everything, man. It's the human experience told through body horror. Connor, thank you for the super chat. Do you have a schedule for when you stream? This is my first time catching you live. Well, appreciate you tuning in. Yes, we stream every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific. Every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific. Join the Discord to get in on like updates and whatnot. By the way, that's in the description. 7? Are we gonna call 7 a horror movie? I don't know if I would call it a horror movie, to be honest. Like I'm open-minded, but like I don't. It's sort of scary. It's probably the closest thing to a horror movie that David Fincher has made. I think. I mean, Benjamin Button exists. I mean, it's a great movie. I just feel weird putting it on here. Like, I don't know. It's your call. You're right. It's my call. I'm going to call it a thriller, and I'm going to put it in A because it just doesn't really like when I look at the. Now, this is not to say like in an it's an S tier movie probably in the grand scheme of things, but like if we're talking horror movies, I wouldn't consider it one of the greatest like horror movies. When I want this top section to be like the horror guys, you know? The basement scene in Zodiac is scarier. Yes, that's true. 7 is horror if Silence of the Lambs is. Fair point. Fair point. Unsubscribing, blocking, unfollowing. This is devastating news. All because of 7. King Kong. The OG King Kong is not that good. And this is coming from, you guys should trust me because I am a monkey cinema connoisseur. I've seen them all. That's not even true. I haven't. But I've seen a lot of the King Kong films. It's certainly better than Son of Kong. It's certainly better than Queen Kong. Certainly better than the new King Kongs. It's kind of neck and neck with Peter Jackson's King Kong in my head. The best King Kong movie, and this is one of my hottest takes, is the 1970s one with Jeff no, not Jeff Bridges. Or yes, Jeff Bridges, right? I know it's Charles Grodin. Double check on the cast here. It is Jeff Bridges. It's a young Jeff Bridges. And it's my favorite King Kong. This stream is genuinely destroying your reputation. These takes have been out there for years. You've known this about me, that I don't think first of all, the OG King Kong is not bad. It's just probably C. It's not one of my favorite of those like creature films. It's really not. Also, the Creature from the Black Lagoon better be in here. I don't see it, but it might be hiding. Return of the Living Dead, I haven't seen it. Dawn of the Dead, I haven't seen it. I've only seen one of his films, and I don't even know. Yes, it is here, Night of the Living Dead. The Thing is S. The Thing is S. We all know this about me. What is this movie? What is, I can't tell. This top left here. Is that... The tattooed face, is that Quaidon? Quaidon? I've been meaning to watch that one for years. Quaidon? Okay, it is. Yeah. No, I haven't seen it. Reanimator. Reanimator's fine, dude. Reanimator's fine. It's like... As soon as I say that, Reanimator is cinema at its finest. I don't know. I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't really care much about that movie. I'm not like that into... This is going to sound rich coming from the guy who just put The Fly up here, but like I'm not a big science horror enjoyer. I remember being like pretty underwhelmed by it, but like I can't put it any lower than C. There's no true D's here that I know of. Not yet. But like that's not a it's kind of a C, man. It's pretty good. It's like not bad. It's also kind of a C. I'm not like it was entertaining, but it's not like the kind of thing where I'm like seeking it out all the time or thinking about very often. Bill Skarsgård's very good as Pennywise in that. Finn Wolfhard, very good. That's like one of Finn Wolfhard's best, to be honest. He's really good in it. The Exorcist. I mean... I'm gonna have a Smokers. I like just rewatched it. I'm not hesitating. I was hungry, bro. Calm down. You guys need to chill out sometimes. The Exorcist is probably, it's S. It's S. I mean, come on. I just rewatched it. It's S. It's maybe not, no, it is my favorite William Friedkin. It is. It is. Is it? Wait, let me just double check. I don't know if I can say Sorcerer is better. Sorcerer like made a bigger impact on me personally. Like that's one that really kind of like fucked me up in a weird way, not in like a way I traditionally get fucked up by movies. What are you eating, by the way? An Uncrustable. Yeah, I guess from what I've seen, that's my favorite John Carpenter, William Friedkin. I like French Connection, but The Exorcist is like kind of special. Zombie I have not seen. Pet Sematary I have not seen. All right, we're gonna... okay. I love Bela Lugosi. He's been... I actually don't know if I can say this, but... I like Bela Lugosi. This movie is not very good. It's teetering on D. That OG Dracula is so weak, man. It's so weak, especially next to like other Dracula vampire movies. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna put it in dead. It's really not that good of a movie. Like, I can't even say, like, even for that era, it's like one of the weakest. The best thing about it is Bela Lugosi, but I'm really not that crazy about it. It's not okay. People have been shitting on that Coppola one in my comments recently, and I'm like, what are we saying? That's a good ass. That's one of Coppola's best movies. The others, I tried to get us to watch it on the broadcast. It didn't happen. The Sixth Sense. The Sixth Sense is good. It's not my favorite M. Night. Coppola one is always getting heat. It still gets heat today. Where I'm like, when are we? I'm like, if you don't like it, you're not grown up yet. Yeah, I don't think you're ready for it. It's a movie for grown-ups. Sorry. That's so mean. And like that's like maybe that's me with Suspiria. Maybe I wasn't a grown-up. Like maybe I was just not there. Didn't have some honest to God hair on my chest when I watched it for the first time. And now could be different. The Sixth Sense is like probably B in my book. It's not like my favorite thing. Yeah, all that said, I'm going to get into this second Uncrustable because I'm hungry. We're adults, okay? Night of the Demon. Why are you taking up so much space? I have not seen you. Night of the Living Dead is... So, I have an interesting history with Night of the Living Dead. What kind of Uncrustables? Grape jelly. They're good, dude. Like, my history with Uncrustables, real quick, before I get into the movies... It's like I used to, I would have them every now and then as a kid, and then obviously never revisited that because I grew up, and then my one friend used to buy them a lot, and then I like had one, and I was like, I forgot how good these are, and then I was at like Costco and bought them in bulk, like having not had one in a while. I was like, fuck it, I'm young, I'll just buy an Uncrustable like 24 pack, and they're good as hell, man. They're like the perfect snack. They're the perfect snack. You don't really want a close up on the Uncrustable, man. That's kind of gross. How's the diet going, Karsten? Get the fuck out of here. It's going just fine. Night of the Living Dead. So yes, my history with Night of the Living Dead. I when I first saw it was a little underwhelmed by it and didn't really love it. I thought it was a little... I think it felt a little dated, to be completely honest with you. Like I was like, this is not that scary. And then as I've grown, as I've like thought about it, I've been like, this is it's not about that, right? It's about the framing. It's about the way he shoots it. It's about the editing, the pace, and what it like what a zombie movie looked like at the time. There's a lot more going on in that movie than I was giving it credit for initially. I have not rewatched it, so I can't like go too hard for it, but I think it deserves a bit more respect than I initially gave it. Child's Play. Child's Play is good. Child's Play is a low B, high C. It's a solid B. Unironically, like genuinely one of the best Chicago movies. It's one of the only like truly great Chicago movies. Like there's something very Chicago about it. And it's like very fun. The ending is fantastic. It is Child's Play's not balls, man. It's not balls. It's just a different flavor. It's a different flavor. Raw. Sorry, I didn't want to chew into the mic anymore. Raw. One of my favorites. One of my personal favorites. There's no beating around the bush. It's one of my personal favorites. It's a full S tier. I know that many will disagree with this. Many will see this above something like Eraserhead or Audition and be like, you're out of your goddamn mind. But it's the gift that keeps on giving to me. I mean, it's one of the truly great horror dramas, in my opinion. Wait Until Dark. Haven't seen it. Let the Right One In. We just watched this. That's a solid A. I gashed this one up pretty hard last week, and it kind of deserves it, right? It kind of deserves it. Speaking of diets, yeah. Yeah, no, Let the Right One In is solid, man. It is. It's I mean, if we want to talk about the elevated horror, there it is. It's probably the best shot movie. Let me look at the S tiers. It's one of the most beautiful movies, I will say. It's hard to say best shot of all time, but like it's one that's gonna look good forever. You know, it's a timeless one. Rosemary's Baby. Kind of an undeniable A, if we're being honest. I mean, it's been a few years for me, but like one of the great acted horror films, like some of the best acting you'll ever see in a horror movie. And one of the all-timers. I mean, if like at the time kind of ushered in this new wave of psychological horror. It's been a few years, so I kind of want to revisit it before going full S with it, but like it's Rosemary's Baby. Like I want to rewatch it before I go all the way. Scream. Scream is kind of an A, teetering on S. It might be S. Okay, I was like, let me like feel the water here a bit. Like, are we comfortable putting this one in S? Because I kind of deep down am like, Scream probably more than anything here. Like, if I had to watch one of these movies right now, I'd put on Scream. I'd watch it like that. It's, come on. Timeless, classic, banger. Just gets better every time. It's one that like shouldn't work as much when you rewatch it, but it does. It's like there's too much to love about it. It's so fun. It's such a lovely like homage to horror, the horror genre. You haven't seen Scream? What? Damn, man. The Omen, I haven't seen it. Psycho. Oh man, Psycho. Huh. I'm not like on my Hitchcock tier list, it's not that high. It's been so many years since I've seen it. I'm going to go high A. No, it's a classic. I can't. It's all like most of these wouldn't be here without it. Like I have to give it the respect there. It's really not like anything less than S is like genuinely disrespectful. I have to say. There comes a time where you just need to sit down and respect. Pan's Labyrinth. It's been many years. I'm going A for now. And we're going to move past that because I don't have that strong of an attachment to that one the way the rest of the world clearly does. But it's one of Guillermo del Toro's most consistently strong films. The Conjuring, the first Conjuring's just kind of fine. It's just kind of like, it's all right. It's a little scary. It's like a comfortable B, probably. I'm going to change the D tier to Dracula, by the way. Because it worked too well. The Wailing I haven't seen. The Birds, dude. The Birds is so funny. I mean, it's not. It's actually kind of unsettling, but The Birds I haven't seen in a while. But I really like The Birds. I think I'm going to... I know I got to see The Wailing. The Birds, I... Like... B for Birds. That's kind of... You're kind of right. Invisible Man A. Here's my argument for The Invisible Man. Because I know King Kong and Dracula heads are going to come for me right now. Also, where the fuck is Creature from the Black Lagoon? The Invisible Man, I talk about it in my new What I Watched This Month and expand on my thoughts. But, like, I was saying, like, it's of that era of creature films, the only one where it's like a true evil monster. Whereas the other ones are pretty, like, I don't want to say completely innocent, but, like, creatures who are trying to navigate a world that, like, hates them. Whereas Invisible Man is a guy who, you know, ends up in this situation where he's invisible and uses it for evil immediately and goes on an absolute tear and becomes just a total menace to the town. And it somehow comes out, I mean, first of all, really funny, really, like, mean-spirited in a fun way, and says more about, like, people and than a lot of those other films. And so I don't know, there's something about it that I just really get a kick out of. I also just love the costume design and all that. It's a really solid movie. And it's only like 70 minutes, so worth a watch. The Shining is an S. I mean, we don't need to expand on that. The Witch is an A. The Witch is an A. That's one that I did not really get the first time I saw it either, and then on a rewatch just was head over heels for. And with some time, it's kind of like, I don't think it's my favorite. I think it's, dude, his filmography is so hard to rank. Like, yes, The Lighthouse is my only 5-star, but, like, The Witch is really good. The Witch is the one where I'm like, it's one of his best stories. One of his most, like, thematically dense, I would say. But, like, The Lighthouse is gorgeous and is also pretty heavy in its themes. So I can't really... His recent stuff is good, and I'm a huge Northman defender, but he really feels like he's just, like, diving headfirst into their period pieces and making it, like, historically accurate and all this stuff, which is great. But, like, those two films, I think, are so, like... They leave you with a lot to chew on, and The Witch specifically is a great example. What We Do in the Shadows might be, like, dude, that's What We Do in the Shadows, man, is one of, like, the funniest movies. It's really funny. Do we have any? We only really have, like, Evil Dead 2 as, like, a horror comedy up here. I might put it up there. It's one of the greatest horror comedies and a genuinely amazing vampire movie. There's a lot that's missing. There's no climax. There's no The Lighthouse. There's no, speaking of vampires, there's no Only Lovers Left Alive, which should be here. Dead Don't Die should be here so that we had another thing for D. I'm just kidding. I don't think it's that bad. There's no Cure. There's no Nope, no Possession, no No Fire Walk with Me. Where would you put Us or Nope? Nope would probably be like high A, low S. Us would be in the B category, I want to say. Yeah, House, man. House would be an S. Creature from the Black Lagoon would be, truthfully, probably an A. Now that I think about it, it's not full S. Anyway, that was the horror list, man. Maybe we'll do a part 2 with some updated picks, but this is it. This is it. Good times. Those are our let's just run it down. Our classics here: Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Shining, Psycho, The Thing, The Silence of the Lambs, What We Do in the Shadows, Halloween, Scream, The Fly, Night of the Hunter, Raw, Alien, Black Christmas, Jaws, Evil Dead 2, Perfect Blue, and The Exorcist. Those are the greatest horror movies ever made, as we've decided on today. Okay. Listen. Whoa, the chat is, what the fuck? It's catching up. Why is it like that? Why is it roast Letterboxd profiles? We're going to do that at the end of the stream. Now, if you're new here, every week we have a weekly movie. We do a little weekly film. Why is my hair? We do a weekly film club. The chat, or not the chat, but the members each week vote on our movie of the week. And last week they voted on The Night of the Hunter, which is a masterpiece. And we're going to get into it in just a second. But before we do that, we got to pick the 4 movies for next week for members to vote on. Yes, if you would like to vote on these movies, if you'd like to vote on next week's movie and pick what we watch and end up discussing, consider becoming a member of the channel. It's a great way to support the channel, to support the live stream. We have member-exclusive videos. I just made one yesterday where I rank every movie I've ever given 5 stars. We have some more going on or coming up. So it's a good excuse to support the channel and, help us pick the movies. So next week, I'm going to put Blade back in there because I want to watch it and I want to discuss it for some reason. I don't really know why, but I think it would be fun. I'm putting in Blade. Hey, Crack Baby, thank you for the membership. Welcome to the madness. Let's see. Listen, we're gonna be out of Biddy. Thank you for the membership. Appreciate it. Welcome to the chaos. We're gonna be out of Halloween Zone next week, so anything's up for grabs. We are not locked down to horror movies only. Okay, we can nominate other films. Off the top of the dome, stuff that I am kind of want to watch. Happiness. Where can people? Is Happiness available to watch online? Let me just double check. Because I thought it was kind of hard to find. It's on Netflix. Scott, thank you for the membership. Appreciate it. Good to have you here. The Fountain, interesting. Once Upon a Time in the West, interesting. Godard. We do need Godard. We've been talking about doing a Godard for a while, and so I might put one of his in the running for next week. Which one I have? I'm gonna put down Contempt. I'm putting down Contempt. So we have Blade, Contempt by Jacques-Luc Godard. I'll put down Happiness. We have room for one more. Procrastinators, thank you for the member for 1 month. We're not going to do Killer Clowns from Outer Space, no. Brazil. The Double Life of Veronique. That one was kind of Titan AE. What is Titan AE again? Oh, I don't know if this is my vibe. I mean, it looks all right. It's not what I'm feeling for next week. Stand By Me, I'm also not really feeling for next week. Hey man, Jorma Pesto, we are not doing Terror at Bloodfart Lake. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. We're not doing Terror at Bloodfart Lake. What's like a newer, we don't do new films on here very often. And there's like, I kind of like deep down, I'm kind of craving that. I'm kind of craving a newer release. So I'm just going to look at Cloud. Look Back. I already talked about Look Back on my main channel. There's always Rush. There's always Rush. There's always A Separation. I'm looking at my watch list. There's always The Nightingale, but I don't know if I want to put the community through that. Listen, we can always do Welcome to Marwen. The Beast. Speed Racer. A lot of people saying Rango. No, there's one guy saying Rango. Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back was in the running last week. I don't hate that idea. I'm gonna put in Bring Her Back. I'm gonna put in Bring Her Back. So the movies are for next week. We have Blade, Contempt, Happiness, Bring Her Back. This can be voted on by the members in the community tab of this channel. Go get them. And we will decide on what's next week at the end of this review. Or end of this discussion, I should say. Okay, we're going to talk about this week's movie. It is Night of the Hunter. The Night of the Hunter. 1955 classic directed by actor Charles Laughton. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right. Very interesting history here. If you don't know this film, if you're unfamiliar, if you're like, what the hell is that? You've probably seen the famous still of Robert Mitchum, like with the hat on outside of the fence with his like knuckles resting on the fence, and it says like love and hate. Which is also something that Spike Lee obviously borrowed for Do the Right Thing. That the film in general has been influenced by, or has influenced a lot of, it's Lawton. Okay, thank you. It's influenced a lot of filmmakers. And that's really interesting because Eggpunk House, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Karsten, check out my Letterboxd. Big love. I might, if you put it in the Discord, there's a chance. It's interesting because, so this is, if you didn't know, Charles Lawton? It was in Springsteen? Really? Does he watch it in, I still haven't seen the new Springsteen movie. That's so funny. Lawton, really? That's not what I would have. Okay, interesting. It's a big motif. That's crazy, dude. He watches it twice? This is so much more relevant than I thought. That's crazy. This movie's so much more relevant than I thought. Okay, cool. Well, it is Charles Lawton's only movie that he ever directed. It got me thinking on a video that I might want to do sometime in the future on movies or directors who only did one movie in their career. Most of them are obviously actors because they kind of see directing as like something they want to try, and then they do it, and then they realize it wasn't much of a success, or the movie wasn't very good, or that they just don't, their heart's just not in it. And so you end up getting these like single film filmographies. This is one of them, and it's probably one of the best examples. Angst. Lion, didn't he direct more than just that? I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he did. And it's really quite sad what happened. The film was a disaster and kind of a huge failure when it came out. It was because it didn't really match the vibe of the times. It was very weird. It was very spacey and kind of all over the place. It was very dark. I mean, to be fair, the film is, I don't know if you guys would agree. I was thinking about this while I was watching it. I was like, is this movie targeted for kids? Because it's a movie that I think would go over well for children, or is like meant for the perspective of a child in a way. But it's also kind of a disturbing movie and is not really the first thing I would think of to show a child. So it's like, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. It was also kind of critical of like Christianity in some ways. Like you could argue there's a lot of stuff going on there. And so, it had backlash in that way. Basically, it was like kind of a big flop. And Charles Laughton was so discouraged by the reception that he was like, I'm done. I'm not, like, they don't want me. They don't want me. So we never made another movie. And what's crazy is that, like, over time, the film has slowly gained, like, a really great reputation. It started out as, like, kind of a cult film. And then I guess, like, once it started to get, like, re-released in, like, the 90s, early 2000s, I want to say, like, it didn't have a proper, like, restoration until, like, fairly recently. But I do know Roger Ebert really loved it and really pushed for it. It says here on the Wikipedia, he wrote, "What a compelling, frightening, and beautiful film it is, and how well it has survived its period. Many films of the mid-1950s, even the good ones, seem somewhat dated now, but by setting his story in an invented movie world outside conventional realism, Laughton gave it a timelessness. It is one of the most frightening of movies with one of the most unforgettable of villains, and on both of those scores, it holds up well after 4 decades," which he's totally right about. That's like a big, it's one of those rare cases of a film that just, the times were just not ready for it when it came out. But that really speaks to how good it is. Like, he knew something that the rest of the world just didn't. Like, he knew that this is the kind of thing that people would vibe with. And I would argue today, especially, like, even, like, it just continues to get better. Like, I feel like this spacey kind of, I don't want to say like childlike wonder style, there's like a certain whimsy to it, I would argue. Like, I would say that this works better today than ever. Like, it's a movie that really gets, like, it really works these days. Also, Josh, you mentioned the lighting, like the shadows and the very like geometric lighting in that the bedroom, the attic or whatever. It's all very modern, and it looks incredible. By now it's in the United States Library of Congress. I feel like this keeps coming up on broadcast films. Every time I like go in to do research, many of them are selected for preservation in the National Film Registry, which is funny. They all seem to be some significant in some kind of way. And this one specifically is super significant because it just felt like a look into the future of film all the way back in the 50s. And yes, many filmmakers have been influenced by it. Obviously, Spike Lee, the Coen brothers pay homage to it. I guess they pay homage to it in the Springsteen movie. So, we're talking about Night of the Hunter. So anyway, I've said all of that. I kind of jumped the gun. I said all of that without even really like describing what this movie is. The plot goes, if I can find it. A self-proclaimed preacher marries a gullible widow whose young children are reluctant to tell him where their real dad hid the $10,000 he'd stolen in a robbery. So it starts off as kind of and this is what I expected from it based on, like, I guess the stills and the plot description. I kind of expected this to be a pretty, I don't want to say by the books, but like really solid noir thriller. that apparently had horror elements because people said it was a horror movie. It's listed as a horror movie on Letterboxd. I really expected it to be kind of a straightforward thriller, which it certainly starts out as. It kind of is just you spend a lot of time with Robert Mitchum, who's the star of the film, and we'll talk about him in a second. He's one of the biggest highlights here. But it starts that way, and as he like slowly kind of infiltrates the house more and more, and it slowly shifts the attention from him into the kids. The film turns it turns more into this spacey kind of, I don't even know what I can describe the vibe as. It reminded me weirdly of, and I think I mentioned this earlier, like the way that kids kind of go off into their own worlds in like Ghibli films. Like, I know there's got to be a better reference than that, but like a dark fairy tale is a good way of putting it. Yes. But it gets very like, it gets very whimsical, I guess. And I loved that about it. It really took it into a direction I didn't think it would go. And they kind of abandoned Robert Mitchum for a little bit there. And he turns into this kind of like ghost-like figure in the back half where he just kind of appears when you least expect him to. And he's got that song that they're doing the Everlasting Arms song, which people have already pointed out you probably recognize from First Reformed, which is like it's the perfect tune that's like so haunting and just like creeps up when you least expect it. And it's like it perfectly captures like this kind of threatening presence of what these like false promises that he gives them in the early parts of the film. Oh, it's amazing, man. So I need some water. Yeah, it's I mean, a lot of the film, it's pretty dense. Obviously, we talked a little bit. It's like there's a lot of it that it feels like it's about the hypocrisy of Christianity, and or at least like these figures in it, and like sort of what adults, like the role that adults play in a child's life, especially in a time like this, and like how easily moldable children can be, and like how horrifying that is to fall under the guidance of like such a greedy, empty figure. I mean, it's absurd, and he's obviously like it's played up, but like there's some like truth to the horrors of it. I mean, we talked about if you can consider it a horror movie or more of like a thriller, and like I think it's the horror isn't so much on the surface as it is like it reveals itself later on. Yeah. Oh my God. Guillermo del Toro said he wanted to recreate the shot of the wife underwater with her hair flowing, but he couldn't. That is the shot. If we want to talk about favorite scenes, it hasn't come up yet, but if we want to talk about favorite scenes, that might be the one. If you didn't know, there's this fantastic scene where this I forget what his name is, Uncle something, Uncle Birdie. Well, he's like fishing, and then I guess spoiler alert, but I won't go into details. There's a woman at the bottom of the lake, hooked to a car, and he like sees her, and it cuts to this amazing shot of her body and her hair just like flowing in the water, and there's like the light coming down into the water, and the film just kind of goes like it just like stops for a second and just like holds on it. And it's this moment that's like a moment that really felt like something out of a movie you would see today. Like the pacing of it, the way the music comes in, the lighting, the framing, everything about it is so modern. And I thought it was just stunning. I mean, not only is it ahead of its time, but it's like by today's standards, so beautiful. And I mean, clearly based on like Guillermo del Toro not being able to pull it off, like not an easy shot to get. It's like such one of those like magical moments. And it's not just that one. That's like one of many. There's a lot of shots of the kids when they're like on the boat going down the river where the camera's kind of up. There's in general, I was gonna bring this up. There in general in this movie, there's a lot of these like high up shots that I would imagine they shot with like from inside like a helicopter or something. I don't really know how they got these shots, but there's like the camera's like in the sky for a lot of this film, and that obviously gives it a sort of like it adds to the religious themes for sure, of like a sort of holy figure like looking down at these kids throughout the film. And I found that just so interesting. Every time it would come up, it's like you got the sense that there is something like very spiritual about their worldview. I mean, it's just it's both a beautiful movie, but like it's a very intentionally shot movie. I think that it goes a step beyond. Not that like, Let the Right One In wasn't intentional. But this one, it's like beyond just looking good, the film feels like it has such a strong purpose behind every single choice it makes. And it's just fantastic. We haven't talked about Robert Mitchum, who I have to admit, like, I'm familiar with, though I haven't seen a lot of his like classics. He worked with Jim Jarmusch on Dead Man, and he was in something else. He was in Cape Fear. Yeah, he was in Cape Fear. I have not seen anything else of his. I haven't seen like his classics, but this is kind of widely regarded, at least now, as kind of his best role. The best way I can put it, it's obviously a villain character, but it is like the first. Okay, so this is gonna sound ridiculous and stupid, but like the way some of the best performances these days, or there's like a specific type of performance that you see in like Heath Ledger's Joker, or in recent memory like Lockjaw in One Battle After Another, or taking it a step further with like Benedict Cumberbatch in Power of the Dog. Like the villain character, when the villain is kind of like the main draw, at least it's like it's a type of performance that feels very modern and like something of this century. Like you don't really see this kind of acting in a lot of movies before the 2000s, I would argue. This is an exception though. This is like the first example I can see of that. It's like it's one of those perfect villain performances where he doesn't overpower the film, which I think is an important thing to note. Like, I don't think any of these amazing performances ever overpower anything, although, like, to an audience, it's clear that they kind of steal the show. But he just kind of... he feels like a larger-than-life beast. Like, the threat is so there. Not just in, like, his voice, which is insane. Like, it's like, stabby and very, like, attacked. Attacked. What's a different word for that? But like it's very like pointed, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. But it's not only that, it's like the way he moves his body, like his posture in this film is so bizarre and like and weird. He looks like a fake person. Like he doesn't look like he knows how to walk around normally, like. And the way he like steps into the light and how he like moves his face with the shadows, it's crazy, man. Like I haven't seen a performance that's like this in control of itself from this era, basically ever. Like it's a really kind of, it's a very modern type of performance that doesn't feel like something you see that often from this time period. So he was amazing. You could argue the highlight of the film, to be honest. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, if you can't tell. I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to take some water. It is technically a Christmas movie, yes. What was the purpose of this film? I feel like there's a couple things. I think, like... if I were to boil it down, I would say it's primarily a film about children and how they're influenced by the systems around them and how they, like, honestly, like, it's kind of similar to Battle Royale in some ways. It's like learning how to break free of that, I think, is a big part of it, and how manipulative these systems can be. I'm not speaking strictly about like religion or Christianity, but just like any adult figure in your life that are mostly after like greed in some way. It's I think mostly about like how manipulative these systems can be for people who lose everything in their lives, which is the case of these kids. And I don't think it like serves any of this to you on like a silver platter. It kind of just very gently guides you through their like where they're at mentally, and by the end it feels like weirdly normal in the end, at least. It takes it back to a pretty grounded place, even though it goes into some like really otherworldly spaces in the middle. But like there's obviously more to it than that, but like off a fresh viewing, that's kind of my read on it. And as far as movies about children go, which I feel weirdly like always really kind of move me quite a bit, like thinking about this and like Grave of Fireflies, Petite Maman, most Ghibli films, like movies about kids who have to learn about the world they live in and the people in that world, them having to learn about this too quickly and what that means to them. Those always just kind of like, they really get to me. And this is obviously like one of the strongest examples. I mean, because it's just so, it is scary. And he is like kind of this like ghostly wolf-like figure, Robert Mitchum, but it's not ever so like, it doesn't lose touch of that childlike point of view. It's a hard world for little things. That was just like the bet, dude. It's the other. I didn't even talk about like the writing of this movie, but it's like, it's one good line after another. It's like, we want to talk about quotables in light of One Battle. This is full of them. I mean, there's that line. There's a lot of funny lines, like the Uncle Bertie one where he's like, "They're gonna blame it on me." I mean, there's so much like humanity here, which is also something I really love. Like it's not so narrow-minded in its tone. It is funny and lighthearted. It may not be that subtle. Yeah, I'll give you that. It may not be the most subtle thing, especially in the end. I feel like she kind of says into the camera like some of the takeaways of the film about like enduring and whatnot. But I don't know. Something about it just really, I mean, it's something about it. I talked about what it was, but it just really worked for me. Pretty much everything about this. I really loved it. I also, I brought it up a little bit earlier, but I kept thinking about the power of the dog for some reason. Like that kept coming. Like, I think they must have stole this line directly out of this movie for Power of the Dog when she was like, she says like, "He's just a man," which is probably like kind of a line that you wouldn't think about otherwise, but the way they use it in The Power of the Dog when she keeps telling me, she's like, "He's just a man," there's something about that line it carries so much weight. It's like, he is just a man, but like that's a man in this world is not just that. Like it's brilliant. And he does have a very like, there is a very Power of the Dog thing about this, of like this guy with a hat coming in and just basically torturing this family and making their life shit. It made me want to rewatch that movie. But yeah, it is one of the best loss of innocence films. Yes, absolutely. And also, like, it's interesting to see how filmmakers have borrowed from it in different ways. Like, I wouldn't say on the surface this has a lot in common with what Spike Lee is doing in Do the Right Thing, but like, I do find his usage of the love and hate thing that they do in this movie really interesting and does work really well. I had no idea that he borrowed that from this, but It's a shame. It's one of the. I mean, it really kind of upset me when I learned about the reception of this. Like, to hear how badly it went over and how discouraged Charles Laughton was, and to think of like what else he could have done. It's like, damn, man. Like, that's tragic. But yes, he is. I didn't even touch on that. He was gay, and that played a huge part in, I think, the film's critique on some of like the more Christian aspects here. But I didn't really get into that. Yeah, I really liked it, and I got confused when the kid folded into the guy during his arrest at the end. That felt so, no, man, because that felt like really, that felt very real. Like, I feel like a kid doesn't. It's like how. It's like that was all the kid had left, you know? That was his new, because you got to remember, it's like he lost his father, lost his mother. This was really his only leader in his life, and that was kind of what sealed the deal, and like he's on his own now. I know he wasn't really on his own, like he then has the orphanage and whatnot, but like, it's, to me, that was like, it was like the last piece attaching him to his old life, basically. And it doesn't really make sense, no, but like when you break it down, it's like put your, in the mind of a child, like it, to me, I feel like he has a weird attachment to that figure, because he doesn't really fully understand yet like how destructive he was and like what he did to his life. Anyway. And in Rocky Horror, I guess I gotta watch Rocky Horror, man. Anyway, I really love this film, and I wish I could say more, but I'm kind of losing my voice, so I might wrap it up here. We are wrapping it up right now. Yeah. I gave it a 5. It was a total masterpiece, and one that I'm going to be thinking about for a while. It really kind of stood out. So, Night of the Hunter, it's on Criterion. Highly recommend. It's short, man. It's only like 90 minutes, 94 minutes or something like that. So, there's that. Let's check in on the poll. We're sitting at, oh boy, there's a tie. It is Blade at 22%, Contempt at 11%. Doesn't look like it's going to be Godard week. Happiness, 33%. Bring Her Back, 33%. They're neck and neck. If you want to vote, consider becoming a member. You get access over at the community page, community tab. I'm spinning the wheel. Okay, you can spin the wheel. I'm not going to go into that quite yet, John, but I would love, it would be nice to know it just in advance. I am going to be back in 2 seconds. I am going to go to the bathroom, and then I'll be back. Okay, we're back. We're back. Hello. Yeah, let's check in on the poll. I was looking at the chat. People said, happiness is pulled through. Happiness is pulled through. Okay, so you're probably like, what are we doing for the rest of the stream? I think we'll cap things off with a little bit of Cine 2 Nerdle. We're going to end things here at around 4 p.m. Pacific, so wrap things up there. Any updates on your latest film? Yes, oh boy. It's almost done. I just got the first pass back from the sound, and it sounds amazing. Doing color hopefully this week. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to happen, but that's like all that's left to do. So we're very close. The poster's ready, and I thought about sharing the poster because it looks very cool, but I might wait. I don't know, but it's turning out great. I'm really excited about it. So thank you for asking. Do you like Jay Paul, Karsten? Jay or Jai? I never know, but yes, I do. I saw him live at Pitchfork Fest a couple years ago. It was great. Do you score as you edit? We like picture locked. I would like send the composer cuts for him to get an idea. And this is what we did with Dirtbag too. It's like we get started on it as soon as we can, as soon as there's like a cut of any kind to like give him an idea of like what the vibe is and like what I'm looking for. He'll score to that, and then once we picture lock, he'll time it and adjust it so it works for the cut. And then that's that. And then the sound guy mixes it all together. But yeah, the score turned out lovely. Score by Samuel Organ. Fantastic producer. Theater run? No. It's a short film. But like we'll see what the festival situation ends up being. Favorite hot dog toppings? I like a Chicago dog, so you know, I don't even remember what all is in that. Mustard, relish, a pickle, onions. My composer literally refuses to start until picture lock. That's interesting. I mean, some people do it differently, but if my composers are fine with it, then I kind of like to. They're usually like eager to start. On Dirtbag, he made like rough drafts before we even shot, which was really cool and really interesting because it kind of like I could be like, this is working, this isn't, and then like on set I could be like this. So this is I knew what the vibe was while we were shooting, which really helped. The score was a much more prevalent aspect of that film, though. It was basically all music, so it was very different. Here we have two pieces, so I challenged myself to strip it back a bit on the music. Are you watching the Dodgers? Of course. Last night was devastating. The night before was crazy. What was it? 18 innings or some shit? Yeah, no, I'm going hard for the Dodgers. Sorry. All love to Toronto. I mean, it was not that late here, but it was late. It was like 1 in the morning, or not 1 in the morning. It was like 11 p.m. It wasn't too late for LA, but the fact that it went 7 hours is crazy. Okay. We are going to. You're not a Cubs fan? I'm really like I was, you know, if it came down to the Dodgers versus the Cubs, I probably would have, which I don't think would have happened because it was Dodgers versus that wouldn't have happened either way. But like if I had to choose between the two, maybe the thing is the Dodgers have not affected my personal life. I play as Shohei Ohtani in Fortnite. And also the players on the Dodgers, like I like them. Like it's like a fun group. The Cubs destroyed Wrigleyville. And they make maneuvering around Chicago impossible if there's a Cubs game. Anybody that goes to the Music Box Theater knows that the parking gets shite when the Cubs are playing. So the Cubs, like, I have like shit again, even though I liked going to Cubs games, like they make my life difficult. Whereas like the Dodgers, if a game is getting out, then yeah, traffic's going to be bad, but traffic's kind of always bad here. So the Twins, I would love to root for the Twins, but they're so bad. And I wasn't like growing up. When it comes to like Minnesota teams, I'll always root for the Vikings more than any Minnesota team. But that's become a hard watch in itself. So, and I probably root for the Wild more than I do like the Blackhawks. But so yeah, I don't even know if I really care about any Chicago teams like that. How do you drive in LA? It's hideous. Those are two different things. It is kind of ugly in a lot of parts of LA, but the traffic's really not that bad if you stick to your neighborhood. Where I come from, you support your team no matter how bad or how miserable they make your life. I mean, that's me with the Vikings, man. The Vikings disappoint all of the time. But, you know, it's who we are. We're Minnesotans, and we're proud of it. The Cubs, it's not like I grew up on the Cubs, so I'm kind of like, fuck the Cubs. I had to like learn how to love the Cubs when I lived in Chicago. Like I had to warm up to it. And now that I'm out of Chicago, you know, so much love for Chicago, but the Cubs can, you know, whatever, man. I also get that the Dodgers, it's kind of, you're rooting for was the opposite of underdogs. Scott, thank you for the super chat. Can you roast Letterboxd profiles for a few? I will at the end of the stream. Yeah. We'll do the weekly box. Ever going to make a Coen Brothers ranking? That's next up. Honestly, moving here the year they won the World Series helped a lot. It's so funny. The year I moved to, also, John, are you referring to the Cubs or? The year I moved to Chicago, the Cubs won the World Series. It was a big deal. The year I moved to LA, the Dodgers won the World Series. And it was a big deal. I'm not saying it's me, but ever going to do an Edgar Wright ranking? Probably, yeah. I mean, he's still got stuff coming out pretty consistently, so. Have you used the subway in LA? I have not. I have a car, so I don't need to. But I've considered using it to get from the airport because I heard it's actually pretty nice. Favorite baseball movie? Oh, we already know. It's Moneyball. How do I get my Letterboxd in the stream? You can join the Discord in the description, and over there's instructions on how. You put your Letterboxd down and then we spin a wheel. We already have the one chosen for today. I'm not roasting Letterboxes like in like a bunch. I do one Letterboxd a week to cover it. I hate to disappoint. Expectations for The Running Man. I didn't like the trailer much. Yeah, I'm not like it looked, to be honest, the trailer looked better than I thought it would. I also don't, I'm really like kind of neutral on it. I'm not like that excited. I don't think it looks that bad, but I'm also like, it's crazy that I'm not that excited about an Edgar Wright movie, you know? Is LAX that terrible? It's, yes. I don't know. Sometimes it's not. I can get through it pretty fast. I don't get fucked when I'm leaving. Like when I go through security, it's never that bad. But when you're coming home, when you land in LAX, like, I don't know, getting out of there, getting picked up, picking someone up there, it's a disaster. It's the worst layout of all time. Fake Zorker, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Any advice on starting out writing screenplays? I think it might feel like daunting to just spill everything out on the, like, right off the bat. But So I recommend like, I mean, it depends. If you're doing a short, just fucking just do it. If you're doing a feature, I would write like an outline, and then you just kind of have like a basic structure, and you can be like, okay, I'm gonna do this section today, and I'm gonna do this beat the next day, and it makes it a much less daunting task. I've written 3 features, but one of them I'm not even gonna count. And writing those, I would do like an outline and really like flesh that out first. I know like it might help to just jump right in, but like doing an outline really makes it feel, it keeps you on track a bit more, so you don't like abandon it and just like because once you get stuck while you're writing the screenplay, it's really hard to like get unstuck. So to have it laid out first is it's the way I'd go about it. And also don't like worry too much about what you're writing down, because it's obvious. Like just focus on like getting it on the page and then go back and adjust later. Like you can't like obsess over the tiniest details in like dialogue or location, or like the specific like the logic or the setups and like how they're gonna get from A to B. It's like just write down like what that scene needs to accomplish, and then when you go back and then you adjust, and then all of a sudden you have a feature. But vomit that shit out. Exactly. In-N-Out or Shake Shack? In-N-Out. All day. I've grown to love In-N-Out more since moving here. I'm actually like a bigger fan than I was as like a tourist. I'm like, this shit's kind of good. I'm not watching Smiling Friends. I need to. Vendors or Kiarostami? That's a really difficult answer, but probably Vendors, because he probably squeaks above just because he wasn't a piece of shit. And Abbas Kiarostami, devastatingly, was not a great guy, apparently. I haven't seen Moon Age Daydream yet. No. In-N-Out does hit when you live here. It really, yeah, when you're like, it hits when you're not like here, like stuck, like when you're here on a trip and you have limited time. It's kind of like a massive inconvenience for just like a burger and fries. But when you're living here and you're just like, tonight I'm gonna get In-N-Out, and you can just casually go, and that's just like the best, man. That's the best. I'm not gonna get into what he did. I'm pretty sure there was A, some plagiarism, and B, some like abuse, as far as I know. I don't know the details. I'm not one to speak on this, but like you can Google it yourself. It's the plagiarism, I'm pretty sure that's for certain. I've never gotten the cheesy fries. I don't like fries that have shit all over them. All right? But maybe I'm missing out. If you have the budget to fund your own short, would you say film school is worth it? Well, it's not like film school is going to, or it's not like that one short is guaranteed to jumpstart your career. I mean, it might if it's like the best short in the world. I mean, it's not just one short. It's like if you can keep funding, if you can fund a feature, that's maybe different. I mean, that's not that's not the primary reason I went to film school. It's like film school's great to like find a community, and like, because that's like all of film, like that sounds like a bullshit reason to go to film school, but like that's kind of a lot of filmmaking, and that's a lot of the film industry is who people know, and you learn that. But like there's some people who know people already. I mean, that's a big part of, I think, why PTA dropped out immediately, is because he grew up in California and was like, well, I know what I want to do. I know how to do it, and I know people. So it made sense. But some people, they don't know anybody. It made sense for me because I grew up in the Twin Cities, nobody in my life, nobody in that entire town that I knew personally wanted to make film or had any thoughts of that. And so I was like, I should go to film school if I want to do this, because I can't just throw myself into LA blind. Some people can. I didn't know how to do that. So it really depends on who you know. And I hope that answered your question. I don't think that really answered the question, but if you can self-fund the short, you should do it. If you believe in the short, if you think it's like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you should do it. What about after film school? That's a good question. Figuring that one out myself. I will come clean. Like, I have a very hard time meeting people these days. I mean, I think I've forced myself a bit more since moving to LA, because all my friends are in Chicago, basically. But I've met people here. I have a job where I don't interact with a single person besides my manager. And so, you know, meeting people is very difficult. And LA is not exactly a social spot, in my experience. So I do miss that aspect of film school. I don't really know also if that answered your question. I enjoyed the members exclusive video. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Do you do any film jobs after film school? All my friends do, yeah. You got to go clubbing. You're right. I have been to... I'm not going to get into all that. Yeah, my friends who were in film school with me did, but my job is YouTube, so I'll pick up an editing gig every now and then, kind of just to keep that muscle working. It's not really about the pay for that kind of stuff, even though it probably should be. I'm in it for the love of the game. Favorite clubs in LA? Go. I don't know. What do you do for work? Don't need to know the company, but what do you do? I make YouTube videos. That's the job. That's the whole thing. I wouldn't edit for other YouTubers. I do all my editing myself. And I'm very pleased doing that. I recognize that it would probably take a little bit of workload off and maybe make the quality of some stuff better. And I've considered bringing on editors to do like short form stuff, because that's stuff that I don't really have the time to do consistently. But no, as far as like me editing for other YouTubers, I've helped out friends who have had to edit for people, but I would never do it myself. It just is like I got my own thing going on. Top 3 favorite Irish films. Oof. I gotta think. Let's look up Irish films. Which ones have I seen? That's not Irish. What are you talking about? What is this? Oh yeah, Cartoon Saloon is all Irish, I suppose. Interesting. I don't know if that's like a favorite. Banshees, right? We're counting Banshees. I liked Wolfwalkers. Oh man. Why can't I think of any Irish movies? I don't think I've seen enough Irish cinema. I'll be completely honest with you. In Bruges. I can't do 2 Martin McDonagh movies. That's just we're picking Banshees at the end of the day. I don't think I've ever heard your takes on the heavy hitters of TV, The Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad, etc. Well, that's because I've only really seen Breaking Bad, parts of The Sopranos, but I haven't finished it. Haven't seen The Wire. Yeah, I'm really like I've seen Twin Peaks, but yeah, I need to like carve out that time in my life to just do TV for a little bit. It's tough, man. I'm even The Pit, which I'm loving, I'm moving through slowly. Like Andor, I'm moving through slowly. Like I'm very slow about TV. I don't like binging stuff typically. If I donate $10, can you do a backflip live on stream? Dude, it really like pains me to say this, like is genuinely upsetting. Like 3 years ago, yes. These days, I probably can't do a backflip anymore. I gotta go to like a gym with a mat and like practice, but I can't backflip anymore. And that used to be a huge part of my personality. I used to like go like at the high school dances. I would tell people I'm gonna fucking backflip, and then like the crowd would like make a circle, and then I'd get in the center, and then the Spanish teacher would be like, no, and then I'd be like, out of my way, and then I'd backflip, and everyone would go crazy, and she'd yell at me in Spanish, and that was like the time of my life, and now I can't even backflip anymore. Those were the days. My very first, the earliest video of me on YouTube currently, is me failing at a front flip. It's exclusive content, man. It's exclusive. Let me pull it up. Because this is some good shit. This is actually some really good shit. Okay. I did not break my neck. I did try to do a gainer in middle school and did land on my neck, but I was okay. I was okay ultimately. I'm too young for the backflip now. I did one the last one I did was like 2 years ago, and when I landed, I kind of landed weird on my toes, and I felt weird in my chest, and I was like, that's it, we're done. I think we're done. Because that was not right. Wait, front flip. Oh my god. Okay, wait. This is me. That was it. That was my very first YouTube video. Anyway, I had to share that. That's a deep cut. Oh, there's a pivotal part of this that I don't think you guys could see. Wait. Just off frame. There's a chicken. It's a very important part of this video. Because the chicken moves. Anyway. It's a fantastic clip. I need to make that public. It's important lore that people need to know about. That was me on the farm doing my backflips, or my front flips in that case. Unfortunately, that's easily your best work. I produced some amazing work in middle school, I have to say. That is very hard to find these days. But that was me. Better than long toast. Yeah, someone's got to add front flip fail in parentheses off of log to Letterboxd. Don't actually. I know, because some of you do this, and I'm like, that shouldn't be on Letterboxd. Who's the greatest critic turned director? It's probably Truffaut. No. It's not Truffaut. His hit rate is probably higher. I might say Bogdanovich. But Park Chan-wook is up there. Schrader's good, but his hit rate's a little all over the place. There's also Godard. We've got some real Godard heads in the community. I wasn't aware. I really like Bogdanovich, though. I mean, he makes some really good stuff. And yeah, Park Chan-wook. Were you a parkour guy? I was, and I'm still I'll dabble, not in real life, but like I like watching Store. When is that Michael Bay Store documentary coming out? Because do any of you know about this? It's a big deal for me. I heard it's fine, but I don't care. I want to see a Michael Bay parkour movie, which is apparently a thing. Who's the greatest horror director? It might be like someone who did horror consistently. It's probably John Carpenter or I don't know. It's probably John Carpenter. I know. I walked in on my roommate watching The Sopranos, and it happened to be the scene with Peter Bogdanovich. And I was like, what the fuck? Is that Peter Bogdanovich? And he was like, who's that? And I was like, that's the Last Picture Show guy. Hitchcock is a good example. Yes. I don't think I've seen enough Wes Craven, admittedly, to lock that in. Whereas I've seen a lot of John Carpenter. Oh, David Cronenberg might be my answer, actually. I am a Mark Kermode guy, yes. Are you considering making old school low effort YouTube videos again? I miss those days. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If, like, you know, the idea comes up, I'll do it. But, like, I mean, it just comes down to, like, if I have the, you know, idea. I'm not, my videos consisted of parkour edits and trampoline tricks, which I'm not doing too much these days. I could do climbing videos, but what's your favorite decade of cinema? The 70s, I think, produced the highest hit rate. It was the most. It's like the most filmmakers were ever just allowed to do whatever the hell they wanted. And you get some really crazy, sometimes awful shit because of that. But you get, you know, some absolute all-timers that could never be made today. You could do clubbing videos. That's true. You guys know me, big clubber. Climbing vids would go off on TikTok. Well, so not really, because I used to post climbing videos on TikTok and they didn't. I wouldn't say they took off. They were super, like, they were barely received at all. Was the 2010s better than the 90s for film? They're like kind of the same in my head. They both had like a period of new exciting independent voices coming out, but it wasn't like either was it was consistently happening. There was a lot of bad shit coming out in the 90s the same way there was a lot of bad shit coming out in the 2000s. It was probably the 2010s though, because there was more of an embracement for, I feel like indie cinema was by then like more like accessible and more like popular, whereas like indie cinema in the 90s needed like a moment to get there, whereas the 2010s it was already like going, and so you got a lot more independent cinema, at least on a bigger stage. I don't know, I would say 2010s. Like, also speaking about genres, like 90s saw like what was really, well, no, that's not true at all. I don't know. They're kind of neck and neck, aren't they? Who's defining this decade on screen? I don't. That's a tough question. I want to say Ari Aster, but like that's too easy. It's him or it's not Luca. Yorgos is not bad, though he borrows, I love Yorgos. He borrows a lot from Kubrick, and so I can't call, like, I'm trying to think of like styles that feel, he's close in that regard. I'm trying to think of like styles that feel completely of their time, which Yorgos kind of is. I mean, you see his, though he is very influenced by his favorites, he has then influenced a lot of people, and there's a lot that tries to be Yorgos these days. So you're right. He is honestly maybe the answer. And he's putting stuff out a lot more consistently and isn't as on the surface as Aster about it. Nolan was kind of, I mean, it's just Oppenheimer and Tenet, but like, I feel like the work he was making in the 2010s was more. When did The Dark Knight come out? That was like 2008, yeah. Like, that's more defining of that era than anything he's made has been representative of this era. He's one of the best, but I don't know if he's like the decade's defining filmmaker. Yorgos is a really good answer. And that's for lovers and haters of Yorgos. I feel like we can all agree on that. I'm in the lovers camp. Conor O'Malley's up there. He genuinely kind of is. Julia Ducournau is a crazy answer. I kind of glossed past that, but okay, it's 3:55. I say we wrap things up here. We do the Letterboxd, the weekly boxed. John has it pulled up. We spun the wheel in the Discord. If you didn't know, if you're new here, every week we do a thing called the weekly boxed, where I pull up a Letterboxd account and we talk about it. We cover it. We say what works, what doesn't work. We judge their taste. It's a good time. This week, the lucky account is Alex Nader C. Alex Nator C. Let's take a gander at this. Let's take a gander. Okay. All right. This one's funny. All right. Here we go. Off the bat, we have the Scorsese picture, Absolute Cinema, but you've replaced Scorsese with a Lego minifigure. I don't know how I feel about that. But I think it's Ninjago. Our top four, we have Whiplash, Back to the Future, obviously the Lego movie, and The Truman Show. Okay, listen, okay. I'm scared to open this review. I might not open this review. Because the paint dry, if some Letterboxd lore, if you guys are unaware, the paint drying film is, the people use this account for essentially diary entries. It's where some like very personal things go, which is crazy. It's not the case for everybody, but some people will post personal stuff. So I'm just gonna peek this is fine. This is fine. Dressing as Daniel Plainview for a Halloween costume contest at my school tomorrow. Bought a cheap fake mustache and everything, and I'm considering bringing a bowling pin as an item. Okay, it is not that personal. But this is, you get the gist. You get the gist. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna spend the whole thing on this, but it's become such a fascinating part of the internet. It's basically its own like Twitter feed. Look at this, man. Like the things range from shit posts to very like vulnerable posts. It's I not to derail this Letterboxd roast, but I'm glad you included this on your page, or that I caught you this week, because that's really crazy. I hope that costume goes well. Good luck with that costume. I hope you win. We have Mr. Bean's Holiday. We have Back to the Future again. Big Back to the Future head, clearly. And you saw Gabby's Dollhouse. Your age, listen, we don't like to, analyze age too much here, because it we're not trying to make fun of the kids. But like, this feels important because if you are any older than 16, I don't think you should have seen this movie to begin with. It's in the description, though. 16 years old, on the cusp. That's so funny. Yep, okay, great. Letterboxd is fun. Favorite 10. Let's look at your favorite 10. We have, I'll take away the fade. Whiplash, Back to the Future, like we saw. Lego Movie, The Truman Show. Parasite, 12 Angry Men. Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. Pulp Fiction. The Dark Knight, There Will Be Blood. This is sweet. This is, it's like arguably the top 10 most favorited movies on Letterboxd, which is not to say that this is a basic taste, but this is for 16, man. This is about right. It could be worse. I don't want, like, there is a superhero movie, but it's the best one. There's also this superhero movie. Okay, I take that back. But this guy's got taste. I can't speak down on this. Let's see. Let's look at your least favorites. What are the 16-year-olds not messing with? War of the Worlds. What's Up? Food Fight. Ratatouille. What the hell is Home Alone 4, directed by Rod Daniel? I didn't even know this existed. Santa Claus, Pinocchio, and Home Sweet Home Alone. I gotta respect the commitment to exploring the Home Alone franchise, but I feel like this is a sign to tap out. In the 1-star camp, Red One, exactly where it should be. Open Season 2, Old Dogs, LOL, the movie. Norm of the North, Hurry Up Tomorrow. I mean, yeah, no, this is fair. This is like, I can't really disagree with any of this. I do find it funny. I've brought this up before. I think it's funny when people leave their ratings. It's like, I think we know what 5 stars mean, but I respect it. Yeah, my critique is, I think you're at the age now where we should dive into some more challenging shit. I think you love cinema, clearly. And I'm excited for you to go on this journey. It only gets better from here. But Alex, thank you for submitting your box. Thank you for joining the Discord. All right. Let's check in on the poll. We have... Got to get off the backflip video. I'm not gonna recommend Gaspar Noé off the bat. That's kind of diving into the deep end. Okay. Next week, Happiness. We're watching Happiness. That should be fun. Okay. Todd Solondz? Happiness from 1998, starring Philip Seymour Hoffman. It is supposedly available on Netflix and Criterion and maybe YouTube. There's ways to find it. So, yeah. Hope we all have a good time this week. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a fun stream. As far as what to look forward to, I got my What I Watched this month coming out this weekend. Oh my God, dude. Okay, so there's no working around this. I'm going on a retreat next week that I just remembered. I'm going on a retreat, and it's during the week, so I will not be available all week. There will be no stream, so you have 2 weeks to watch Happiness. So I will see you not next week, but on November 12th. I'll see you then. But guys, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Maybe we'll do 2 streams that week to make up for it. This will be the worst week of my life. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Love you, and hope you enjoy Happiness. Bye-bye.